everyone, and welcome back to session 42 of Tales of Aneria.
42!
This title should be called Death Aneria and everything because it is 42.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, life.
I was like, because we're all going to die?
No, of course not.
Excuse me.
Pardon me. Before we begin tonight, huge shout out to everybody. 3,000 subscribers finally. Wonderful job. You're all fantastic, and we hope to have you around for a long time. Hopefully that 3,000th subscriber doesn't automatically leave after seeing this video.
True. That's okay, we're already above 3,000.
Yeah, we got more than that.
Good.
We have 30,000 by now. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah. Throw it out in the universe. And
I
then,
hope so.
Put
We
it on
have
you.
pretty awesome conversations going on in the Discord.
Yeah, really
Started
good
by
stuff.
Colby, and there's a lot of really funny stuff.
Colby gave some advice on a build today in the off-topic chat, which basically was don't do
Don't
this
play
build.
and unless you're just more interested in utility and stuff than you are in combat, and that's fine.
And if you want to see a good representation of Ezra, go check out the Discord. It's there.
Pretty glorious.
Good.
That horn is a little
I thought it was just a nut.
inappropriate. I was going to say inappropriate. but yeah.
Every horn is a little
I
inappropriate.
took an orca horn and just made it big.
An orca?
Orcas
A narwhal?
don't have horns.
Or not orca.
Oh, that's why it looks phallic.
Yeah.
It was an orca
It
horn.
wasn't a horn.
Orca horn!
It's an orc horn.
Yeah,
Well, I won't. Never mind.
Space orca.
There's a story behind that. I'll tell it later off camera.
and then we want to go ahead and start the episode off tonight by once again thanking Syrinscape for providing the sound effects. You guys are great, and you guys should go check out the description below to kind of see just the whole system is really cool. So that's all I'll say. We don't have any sort of like customs yet. We need to get a few of those and link them as well. But
Awesome.
you two can have spooky sound effects in your game. I don't have one prepared, but if I did, it would sound like this. Perfect. But let's go ahead and start tonight.
Oh wait, can I say one thing?
You have news?
To encourage you to come to our Discord channel, we're going to put some letters from Eve in there.
Yes. Yes.
That actually only Cory and Colby have read them before. They were like how I wrote my backstory, but we thought it'd be fun.
Yeah.
Since she gave all of the letters to her mother, if you want to check them out.
Yep. You can see Eve before she joined the party and how full of life she was before
So
she.
innocent.
And now she's
How much she
been-
loved that one guy.
Lucan with all
whatever.
his moisturizer.
Yeah.
It
That
will be-
that actually should be up now.
Yeah. So if you're already on Discord, you may have checked it before.
Yeah.
But if you're not,
Check out that steamy smut.
Just look for the Fifi bot. The Fifi bot. That's the one posting them, right?
What?
The Fifi bot.
We have yeah.
The bot named Fifi.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm so confused.
First look for any giveaways.
Her
stickers.
mom. Sarah's nickname. Her mom.
The
Oh
Fifi
yeah,
bot.
Fifi.
Fifi bot.
We're all
Sorry.
a little slow on the uptake tonight.
All right, everyone do a laugh take. We'll cut that.
Oh, Scott.
You rascal.
I think I'll give you an epic die for that little doozy. Don't cut any of this.
Brother versus brother.
Okay, I think we should get started tonight with a recap as well. So who wants to provide the recap of what happened last time?
I was last time.
Okay, I'll
I'm
do
too
it.
Twitter pated to do a recap.
Voice
Down
of
a
the wild.
good one.
You saw that dragon turtle and you were like,
Yeah, that's
Okay.
right. Love it first sight.
Once upon a time. Oh no. The Wayward Watch was in the city of Rowan, and they had just started a celebration. No one we found out had actually died.
Is this like the
That was
good to
NBC
know.
radio news show? We like make sound effects like you're in charge of animals.
Yeah.
You're in charge of.
Oh, I
Like,
don't want to do
choose
animals.
something.
You do animals. You're the better animal noise maker.
You're people walking.
Your people walking.
Perfect.
Minotaurs.
Your music. The party was going on, and sorry.
That's awesome. I love that
Becoming
so much.
one.
I love that so much. You have no idea.
Okay. Seredan had met with Eve's mother, Fiona. They kind of had like a little heart to heart. Sari was like, "Ugh, I'm nervous." And she was like, let me brush your hair. Now you're even more beautiful. Not that short hair's not beautiful, but whatever. Anyway, the party started going. There were fireworks thanks to Bolt and Ezra, I think.
I did a little prestidigitation.
Yeah, everyone. It was amazing. There was some awkward dancing where it was like, let's trade partners.
Oh, my toes.
That's right.
Victor was trying to hook Ezra up with the old grandma.
Didn't take.
Nope, didn't take.
That was a shame.
I was just trying to get him to say sorry.
Yeah.
I feel like that's payback from another long gone age.
No, he still owes us big time for that. It'll come, I'm sure.
Yeah, Eve went off with Ari and had a little private conversation and came back. And then Sarah and Eve went and had their private conversation, which none of you guys know what it was
I
yet.
still don't know.
Still don't know.
I'm not going to tell you.
It's so juicy.
It is
You
out,
know
though.
before we know.
Cue careless whispers.
Yeah. No, we can't. We can't afford that. We only have 3,000
But
subscribers.
essentially, they're in love.
Good sound effects,
That's
guys.
from
Good.
Hercules.
So they came back.
Mermaid.
Yeah, Little Mermaid. They came back, and then something so exciting happened for me, for Eve. She got a fancy special dress, and she got baptized.
Went through a baptism.
But first, they did something else. They were walking through the woods, and there's all these animals following behind them, and it was really exciting. And they came into this clearing, and there was the Talon, the Fang, and the Claw. Bow, chicka, bow, wow. Because if you don't remember, Ezra offered his body to her.
That's how you serve the gods.
Yeah,
can I
and
say?
she was kind of like, ooh, I like these two, how they have competition. And she offered them a competition.
Come at me, bro.
So they have a year and a day to get the biggest catch. And their
Most
reward
dangerous
will
predator.
be... What's the reward?
Undying love.
Her favorite.
Her... Ooh. Snap.
Whatever.
So
form
it's
that
super
takes.
steamy,
So.
obviously.
Yeah. So then they were waiting around because they were waiting for a fourth guy, and finally the Emerald Stag came, and Seredan was like, hey, wait a second, I recognize you, because he was from the Summer Court, and he was something with Queen Vidania.
Queen Vidania. Not her consort.
No, Seneschal.
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 What?
It's
It's
like,
like a jacket when you get cold.
Yeah, it's like you put it on.
it's like a
Gotta be a
Seneschal.
Seneschal.
Sorry, Sean.
Drape across
They
my
kind of
shoulder.
vary.
Sneak
Not
one.
a chambermaid.
Not
That's
a chambermaid. No.
completely different.
It's like in Mulan, the guy who takes all the notes.
Oh yes.
Yeah, except for not ratty.
A stenographer.
Stenographer. But he's not ratty. He was actually.
Fa Mulan.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
Okay,
That's the
so
voice.
then they're like, Eve, you are amazing and everyone loves you and you're so beautiful, like super pretty. And
goodness.
they wanted her to be the voice of the wild. And she was like, yes, I will gladly do this. But then someone came, and guess who it was? The Baba Yaga.
Oh my gosh.
And she was like, wait a second, I don't know you. And she was like, there's creatures that are under my watch. She was part of the Night Court. And
Court of the Night.
Oh yeah.
Night Court is a
Different.
TV show.
Different thing. Court of the Night.
It's a TV show, and it's also from Sarah Moss' book.
Oh,
That's what you were
yeah.
thinking
I was
Speaking of
thinking
steamy, right?
Yes.
House of Night. Wait, what?
It's getting hot in here anyway. And so she was like, yeah, like owlbears and like the Naga and stuff. Like, I gotta watch out for those things. So Eve had to prove her worth, along with her comrades, the Wayward Watch. And so the Baba Yaga got out an avocado. What the? And she like planted it or something, and like
Freaking
this
millennials.
huge thing came to be.
You know, you could afford a house, Baba Yaga, if you just didn't F around with avocados.
Seriously, man.
You made that joke last time. And I will remind you, she does in fact have a house.
Just part of the recap.
It has chicken
Chicken
legs.
legs. Balls around.
Anywho, they had to fight Yoganther, a dragon turtle, and it was really scary. But halfway through the fight, Ezra decided to shoot the Baba Yaga.
Wang.
Hey,
And so she got involved in the fight, and that was a little dicey because we thought he was going to be killed. But
I have a death wish.
in the end, we made it. We did it.
I mean, Eve just knocked his block off, and
It's true.
Well, that was
Yeah.
a lucky roll. It was a group effort. And she was like, you've proven yourself. And Eve got baptized. The end. And
Yep.
she was given the Amulet of the Devoted.
Ooh. Which is made out of Ezra's old horn.
That's
Nothing.
right. My head toenail.
Yeah, it was
I hate when you call it that.
reshaped into the talisman of the trio. Right?
Yep.
Did I get everything?
So Sarah.
Oh, something else.
Yes. Oh,
What
sorry.
about Seredan?
You said that like you were interrupting me, like you had it. No, Seredan went and got rings for you.
Oh,
and
yes.
her.
Oh, yeah. I was
Promise
on that.
rings. Or
Oh, yeah. Seredan went, and she got them with diamonds in them worth 300 gold, so that revivify. Because we both have it now.
That was 600 gold value for 50 animal
50
pelts.
for-
Yes. Oh, and then we
But I
were
didn't
so
even have to
sad
pay
to
for it.
hear
Nope.
that Hug is leaving us. He's staying behind in Rowan, but he'll probably better
Hug's no longer with us.
rest in Rowan.
Put a skull in the crossbow in the chat for Hug.
He'll come back.
Thank you,
has
Eve.
to.
That was wonderful.
You forgot where
Neato.
Sarah, she then got amnesia. Forgot all about it. 51st dates. The whole next season.
Yeah, we can't.
It's a one shot.
We can't have the will they won't they end. So you guys
Right,
have to
you
like
gotta-
break up
yeah,
for this
right,
next
right, right.
episode.
You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, we do things differently.
We'll do
around
some
here.
time
We just
magic
will
and bring
they.
Sarah from the
That's
past.
it. They will.
and-
Will they?
We don't do the won't they part.
Yeah, we all said our farewells to everyone.
Yeah,
Rowan.
Happy Gilmore waved off the
Yeah,
sunset.
Some more
Bolt
fireworks.
gave Little Eve
I was thinking Breakfast Club.
his little firework
a
thingy
firecracker.
Yeah. The little ball.
And that brings us to today, or this evening, as you guys have been traveling for a little while now. The greatest treasure every night just continues on its way towards your next destination, which I think Bolt would have to gather everybody and tell them where exactly you're going.
Turn left and rolling. Recalculating.
Thank you.
So I'll call everyone up to the deck of the ship. If you're below or something, or if not, I'll just, hey, get over here.
I'm on the deck.
Always.
So I have some information from Callie Toggs that we met back in Bordertown.
Yeah.
She gave me a letter, and I'm just going to read it out. Bolt, you wanted some additional information on the pieces of the fragment I had found in my investigations. I had told you I knew where the location for one was, but I believe it may be the location for two. When I began searching, before my duties at the beacon pulled me away from the search, I discovered a story of a construct in Archdom who had no memory of where they came from. Having no memory myself, I left to investigate, only to find I had missed the construct by mere days. They had been working on the docks for months as a healer, helping fix injuries and make some gold so they could take an eventual journey. They weren't secretive about the destination, I suspect because they wished for any searching for them to know where it was they were going. The location was Pridefall Hamlet, a little town and surrounding boroughs nestled in the hills near the verdant farmland. I've included a map to show its approximate location. It is an out-of-the-way village with no Arcanum presence and not known for much of anything really. The main export is lumber from the nearby forests. It's about 2 weeks from the verdant road following east. In fact, the forests of the hamlet border, if not outright mingle with the Bleakwood Forest itself. This is all the information I could gather while scrying. I set off after the construct, but the Arcanum called me back and provided me with my promotion before I could make landfall at Salsport. After speaking with you, I suspect they are trying to keep me from discovering more about my past. The reason I believe there are two fragments of Pridefall is that it is far too remote for this construct to travel there to await your return. My gut tells me that they traveled to this location searching for something, perhaps having learned of another fragment. I hope this information helps. Good luck on your journey, Callie. So, Pridefall doesn't seem to be too far from our current location.
Just at the edge of the forest.
Rowan's in Bleakwood?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So just south.
It's
West.
probably like
Or
southwest.
no, we gotta go south.
Yeah.
South, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it'll be southwest of your current location.
And I'll be looking at the map,
Mhm.
try to figure out where.
Yeah, Cascas is definitely looking over your shoulder. Yes, yeah, I can take you there. Yes.
So, if there's a chance of more memory fragments, I would like to go get them.
Absolutely.
And I would appreciate my friends and family with me.
Of course.
We'll be there. Not a problem.
You know which ones you are.
Family, obviously.
For some reason, that was directed
I'm
at
sorry
me.
to say.
The ship is the friend.
Oh, okay.
Well, you're
Never
first.
mind.
The grand
Never
traitor.
mind.
What was Eve going to finish?
That you are a wonderful kobold.
Thank you.
I was going to say human being for a moment there. That was odd.
So
Cascas would make a bad human being.
Probably.
Walking
it's your
around
actions that decide whether you're good or bad.
I just meant, in general, too short. Too scaly.
Actual human.
I could make you some stilts.
Can you make me human skin?
Just a trench
No,
coat.
Bolt, do not.
Trench coat.
Cascas will drive boat.
Here's the map.
Yeah, he'll take it and he'll go basically post it over the window that he usually drives in for a little bit.
leaning out.
Yeah, so he's leaning out and checking.
Just knocks a board out the other side to look out the
Yeah,
edge.
every now and then he'll call out for Hug to do something and then like stop himself halfway through and then just say, Bolt, would Bolt mind?
I've got it.
Thank you, Bolt.
Yeah, because I did say I was going to take up his duties for a while.
Okay. So it's going to be about 3 days for you to arrive because you know how distances are in an airship that only goes a maximum of 80 miles an hour. Yeah,
pretty
firing
fast.
along.
Oh,
Yeah, it is fast.
You're in charge of those sounds.
It has been declared. So is there anything that you want to do in those 3 days?
It sounds like,
It's like a steam engine where it's
I was
like
gonna
chugging
say,
along. It's like
what's the name of that show with the
I think that.
No.
Okay, that's what I was
Chitty
hearing.
Chitty Bang Bang?
there you go.
Bang, bang.
Yeah, that's where I was going for.
Oh, yeah, it's good.
Very good.
Oh,
The ship
you
randomly,
pretty
like-
chitty Bang Bang.
That's her, where it
Chitty Chitty
stretches.
Bang Bang. I love you. And hi.
And copyright strike.
Sorry. We
Oh,
don't
it's
even
okay,
know
it's
the
fair.
words.
It's fair.
so-
Oh, it's very
Very
rules.
good.
Fine.
Would you like some candy? Previous villain ever.
Too sweet.
Too sweet.
All right. So yeah, you've got about 3 days of rest and relaxation, or checking your gear. Anything else you need to do? During the first day, you do receive a message on your communication ring. Whoever has that, I don't
be
know.
me.
Okay. Seredan receives one. The smell of lilacs wafting into your face.
That's my favorite smell. She'll pull the ring off and go. There he is, cute.
And a very formal scroll will pop out, and as you open it up and read it, it's just from Lady Crestor, and she says, "Your tower is ready."
Wow.
Where was this tower again?
Southport.
That's sort of nearby where we're going to end up, isn't it?
It will be on the way to Malagoth.
We ought to go look at it.
We should.
Maybe decorate.
We should evaluate
Furniture.
the property.
Do we know
out
anything about the
rooms.
tower?
No, you just know that it cost you 5,000 gold to get, and it required some adventurers to
We bought
take
it
care of the
sight
puzzles.
unseen.
Yep, it was 5,000 gold. I mean,
It's a good bargain.
yeah. You know it belonged to a wizard, so it probably has some kooky amenities in it.
It's probably pretty tall. Maybe we could build.
If you want a full
airship
report,
dock.
you can ask for one.
Yeah, I would write back and say, oh, lovely, thank you so much. I hope that no one was injured in the retaking of the tower. Also, could you give us any additional details about the locale,
Height,
what the
weight.
views are like, maybe
Are there
the
buttresses?
best rooms?
Yes, yes.
Is it in
All
a
the
good
buttresses.
school district? All the things
Right.
we need to know.
We could add buttresses if we.
Yeah. So after like
can make
we'll
a
say 10
buttress
minutes,
tower.
you get a response back that just says, "I will have Mash send over a report."
Trust what Mash says.
Hopefully it doesn't get gumbo all
Doesn't seem
over
like
the paper.
I mean,
brightest.
if Lady Crestor trusts him, we should probably trust him too.
And then it's another day after that before you do actually get the full report, which comes in several batches, just kind of like a repeated
You're
like
just-
scroll.
It's like a fax machine.
It's like one of those old printers where you like.
Dot matrix.
Roll,
Yes.
So yeah, it is kind of an interesting structure. It kind of has a few rooms that are whatever you'd like them to be, kind of thing. Apparently, they are very magical in nature. They can kind of shape to be what you need them. It does have a teleportation circle in it, a permanent one. For anybody who ever learns teleportation circles or teleport, you can learn the runes there. It has a workshop up at the top of the tower.
Yes.
It has a library that has a bunch of different books about magic that you can read and research anything that you need to. And then, there's a nice little garden around. Most of it's kind of on the outside is a very... it looks a little ricketier. In fact, they make a sketch of it, and they just show you that it's maybe one of the sections is moved off to the right. One's,
Am I reading this correctly? It says there's a room full of dogs and harps.
Yes, there is a room of rest, and little hands that
Fascinating.
feed you things.
I'm more of a cat person.
They're white gloves. They're
There's
not
probably some
like
cats
actual
in there,
hands.
They're just
Ew,
decapitated.
creepy.
They're just decapitated hands. And then there's also there's a big fish motif, water motif on the outside, so which is kind of Salsport standard.
Oh yeah, that's right. We designed it was koi and stuff.
Yeah, there are
that's
some koi
right.
fish and everything outside. So.
Sounds lovely. I can't wait to see it.
It would be nice to have a place to call home, a permanent home.
Should we have a sparring session to see who gets to pick their room first?
I'm in.
So am I. Ezra, Victor, Bolt.
There's not a lot of space on this airship. I need range.
I'll throw a dagger as a feet.
All right, fine.
So yeah, go ahead and let's have everybody give me. You know what? How should we do this?
Performance? No.
Because if I just say attack roll, I know who's going to win. Mrs. Song of the Unseen over. Do you use Song of the Unseen?
I would if I was fighting for the best room.
You know she's going for the one with the nice tub.
That's right. And the view.
Okay, I will leave it up to the party. Do you want to play out this sparring match?
Yes.
I think so.
Gotta kill each other every once in a while.
Combat!
All right. Give me a moment. We'll set up a map, and we'll be right back. All right. So what we're going to do, we've got our airship here, and we are going to roll initiative. So everybody needs to roll me their initiative here. And we'll start with Bolt.
Now remember
13.
our previous discussion about it being unlawful to cheat as a player.
Yes.
I remember.
Please do not cheat as a player. Ezra.
14.
14. Victor.
19.
19.
13
Seredan.
Oof. 4.
4. And Eve.
11.
11. All right. So, this is obviously the turn order that everybody will take their turn in. However, the lowest person on the list working their way up gets to pick their position first. So that starts with Seredan.
Okay.
Pick a corner.
You mean of the ship? Or,
Yep. Pick a corner of the ship or an edge of the ship where you want to be to start.
I mean, I want to be
Match.
right next to Ezra.
You suck.
Okay. So that's the position that you're picking.
Well, okay, so then he's going to get to
Then
pick and
he's
gonna-
yeah.
put himself somewhere else.
Yes. So
Alright, fine. I guess I'll just put myself...
Hold your action and then place it wherever he places it.
I'm going to put myself inside here by Kes, so I have half cover.
and Kes goes, can you not involve Kes in this?
Oh, don't worry, you won't be involved. I just need a little bit of cover from Easy and his arrows.
All right then.
Kes pulls a lever and the whole cabin just goes off.
You can actually take the top off that cabin here, and we'll set you in next to Kes.
My glaive might be too
Yes.
tall.
Eve, where would you like to be? Also, do you want Darian with you?
Yeah.
Better not ram us off the boat.
Are you riding Darian, or are you just having him?
He's with me.
So what's the rules of engagement here? Because I have a flying bird. So
Can you pass
I
me my
technically
folder?
could get off the
It's a skirmish. You guys get to
Okay.
decide the rules of
Do
engagement.
whatever you want.
Folder.
folder.
Eve folder, yeah.
Gold tape.
Thank you. I
Yes.
will, I'll just stay where I am.
Okay. And then we'll put Darian right next to you. Scott, if you wouldn't mind. Snagging the bunny. Bolt.
Carl back here.
Okay. Ezra.
I'm gonna go on top.
On top of the what's we call it?
So lay Seredan down. Yeah, no.
We could just use something else to.
yeah,
there you
You
go.
want a dagger? Seredan starts off prone. Got it.
It's the only way she can fit. Okay, and then Ezra and Ixburn on top.
Yeah. Safe.
And finally, Victor.
I will go right there.
Okay.
Cool.
And then it is Victor's turn first to start us off.
Okay.
Before we begin, though, you wanted to talk about rules of engagement.
Yeah.
I
I mean, obviously we're not going to kill each other.
No.
Yeah. All non-lethal
Says
damage.
I just basically need someone to either yield or...
You've got boxing glove arrows.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You've got corks on the end of your daggers.
Yeah.
if someone drops
I got
unconscious,
whole
they're
cans.
out. But we'll consider it all stable. You won't be taking death saving throws.
Okay.
Let's say no healing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you have to be on the ship proper.
Okay.
The ship is the battlefield. If you leave, so no
You
room,
forfeit.
You forfeit.
Got it.
All right.
I'll roadhog hook him.
I'm going to... I think the first... I'm going to use one of my performance points and cast what's it called? Cloud of Daggers.
Right at the door.
in the door in that part of that window. So I'll just kind of...
Yeah, the iron leaf goes off and starts like rattling around in the door frame, and Cascus is just like, you fix whatever you break.
Not the problem. It's only a friendly engagement. And I will do a bonus for my bonus action. I want to have my blades. I'm going to put a couple of defensive ones just kind of floating around me.
Okay. Like in your square, or
Just not on me. Just kind of float around me, but they're defensive.
okay. Alrighty. Ezra.
Okay. I am going to shoot Eve, but first I'm gonna have Ixburn fly down and give me advantage.
Okay.
Look out.
Oh, and no hitting expert.
Expert dice like you hit him once and he's just dead.
That's gonna be a 22.
That will miss.
Okay, I'll shoot again, this time without advantage.
Corey's is over here like, now you guys know how it feels.
Yes, my pain. Feel it.
How about 24?
That is my AC.
With
Okay.
sharpshooter.
That was with sharpshooter. So that's gonna be.
You want to tell everybody at home what you had to roll to get a 24?
I already picked it up, a 14, I think.
14.
Yeah.
Because it's mine.
You have a plus 15 to hit.
No, hold on. Oh, shoot, no, it's lower than that actually. Sorry.
So that would have been
Sharpshooter.
without
Yeah.
sharpshooter.
That would have been without. But I've already claimed that we'll do sharpshooter unless otherwise, so that misses.
That missed?
Mhm.
Okay.
I'm not usually. Well, I am a
You shoot
rules
the
lawyer,
crane.
but I'm especially going to be a rules lawyer.
No,
When a room
sorry.
is involved.
Yeah, sorry. Got my stuff up here. Okay. That's it. I'm not
Yeah, so Ezra fires off a couple shots.
Shoot.
You're not moving from where you are.
Nope. I'm gonna stay
Okay.
right up there.
Then it is Bolt's turn.
I will chain whip Ezra.
Okay.
You're going to yank him off.
I will attempt to. We'll see.
Get over here.
13. Not great.
I'm assuming 13 doesn't hit you, Ezra.
Yes.
Yeah, that misses.
Okay. Anything else that Bolt would like to do? Now the big question, do temporary hit points count as healing? I mean, an armor.
would
You guys
say
would
so.
allow an armor of Agathis if it came down to it. So
Yeah.
And I'll giant smite. I'll grow big.
okay.
Really big.
The ship goes.
Yeah, I guess it's just like
Sorry, Kes. Promise
falls
it's
into
worth
daggers.
it.
Sorry,
Maybe not for you. We'll let you choose a room.
could have waited until we landed.
Don't worry, there's an extra room. Those two will probably share.
Eve, it is your turn.
Okay, I'm going to cast Ensnaring Strike.
Okay.
She's like, bless on myself. No one else gets it. The first time ever.
And then,
And for the purposes of this, we don't benefit from the aura because we are enemies.
Correct.
Just to make that clear.
yes, you are. And I think that's going to be my turn.
So ensnaring strike allows you like that's part of an
It's a bonus
attack,
action, I thought.
isn't it?
Mm-mm. Is it?
I thought it was a bonus action to cast.
Yeah.
Oh, it is a bonus action. Excellent.
Oh no.
Then I'm going to come around by good old.
Or I
it's
mean,
gonna be
Victor.
Vicky. Okay,
Don't
Vicky
do
turn.
it.
Victor.
Don't do it.
And I will get out the snake holes.
I tried to prevent
That
that
is a
name.
19 to hit.
Maybe. Yep, I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure
Yep,
that's-
17.
Colby knows everybody's names.
Okay.
He's been waiting for this
So-
moment. I need to mind control you sometime.
I'm going to reduce the damage by
13. So that's 13 plus.
The ensnaring strike.
Yes. Sorry, I have to use
Minus
my.
4.
Okay.
from
So
one of,
minus
Some-
40.
one of the
Okay.
So 9. Plus. What happened? Go back!
Did your iPad not work?
No, it's. Hang on. Cut out this boring time of me trying to figure this out. It did something weird. Okay. Spells. Ensnaring Strike. Which I cast at the 3rd level, I might tell you.
Okay.
Coming up
I
strong.
guess I should have expected no holds barred. Cast at the 3rd level.
So that's 3d6. So only 7.
So an extra 7 damage.
Extra
On top
7.
I will have it
Mhm.
with my uncanny dodge.
Okay. So you took -4 and then you have the rest of it. Okay.
Well, now that was just the additional damage on
Wait,
top
yeah.
of your weapon attack, right?
Yes.
Still do your weapon.
Yes.
So whatever the total is,
Yeah.
I'm an uncanny.
Okay. Now you have to succeed on a strength saving throw or be restrained by magical binds until the end of the spell.
I'm so good at strength. Ooh.
0.
Strength, yes. Just
Minus
it is
1.
Minus 1. 15. How much?
What was your DC? They have to succeed on a save of 19.
19. Sorry.
19. Okay,
Wow.
yeah. So I am restrained.
By the way, Preston,
Uh-huh.
is your dagger and uncanny dodge both reactions?
The dagger.
Oh, you did. So what was the total damage then?
So it was. Well, he reduced that. So it was 14. He said.
You choose to have a blade flash in the moment to deflect the blow
So it
and
ended 9
damage the
plus
weapon's dice,
this.
then the blade returns to you.
7.
The only requirement is that it uses a bonus action to activate it, and then
Okay.
it just according to that it just happens.
Okay. Alrighty. And then you have another attack.
So I'll
So
just.
what was the? I'm sorry. I haven't put the damage in yet. There was the
So
total
it was
14
9.
plus 13.
14 plus 13.
minus the
You said
4.
14.
It was 14, but then he said, "Oh, I'm going to
It was
reduce that."
14
Yeah.
plus
Yeah.
7.
Plus 7.
Plus
So it's 21.
So 21 total.
I thought
21
ensnaring
half
strike
that.
was-
That's gonna be 10. No.
Yeah.
10 rounded down.
Okay.
Okay, got it. Where's my health?
And then you're restrained.
Okay, next attack.
Hold on, I'm having
Everybody
Wait
gets
for
to
it.
be their own DM tonight, and I love it.
10
That's
damage.
18 to hit.
There you go, Preston.
18 to hit.
18.
Yes, hits.
Okay.
And I
Poor
am restrained, so if you have advantage
Oh yeah,
on
you
the
have
first-
advantage on the attack because he's restrained if you want to try and...
Okay, 17.
damage.
Mm-hmm.
That's an additional 17 damage. Listen, I was leaving you alone. I didn't mean to piss you off by going after Zeri first. Just wanted to keep her in the room in case she goes invisible poof, then we don't know where she is.
You should learn not to mess with Zeri.
I
And
am seeing that now.
I hate this.
You were pretty gung-ho a second ago.
And then Darian gets to go.
Oh yeah.
Do
So
we need a survival
Darian,
alliance going on until elimination time?
Listen, we can.
Yeah?
I've done this kind of fight before. If we join forces, we can totally win.
What is this, Survivor? There's no making alliances.
Just
Does
like
he
in the
have
Chris
enough-
Link. But this time I'll let you in.
I want him to charge, if possible, at Victor, but I don't know if he has enough movement speed to make that happen.
He does.
He should be able
How
to.
much?
15,
20.
20?
That should be plenty.
He
As
can
long as
move
this
around.
Rock's not in the way, or he could like go.
So it has to be in a straight line, but he can go
Oh.
like to the edge
go
of the
like-
building
And
and then charge it.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have to be. So that's 30. If this is 30.
Why am I
so
losing
Okay.
learning
So
her
yeah,
favor?
you should be okay.
Yep.
No, she totally can't.
And he was like, and this is for giving him too many sugar bombs. He just comes blurring around the corner.
Come on, man. I mean,
We didn't
He has
see what she was
advantage.
stuffing
Oh,
them
he
in
has
his mouth.
advantage.
because
You're
he's
right. I rolled the same
same.
thing. That's 14.
14 to hit.
Yeah, no. Misses.
Yeah, no.
Plus 6. So
20.
You used an epic.
So cold.
Now, we can't use epic die to reduce an attack, right? Like to
No, you
close
can
racing.
use it to reduce damage,
But not to raise your
Alright.
AC.
but not to raise your AC.
And on this one, with this, because again, it's not a reaction, would I be able to use the blade of defense, the second blade?
Technically, it probably should be a reaction to prevent things like this, but you can use another blade. Yeah.
Okay. So I use one more to reduce the damage.
This is why
By
homebrew
3.
classes need a lot of
So that's
tweaking.
12.
12
Very
minus 3.
12 minus 3, 9.
Okay, if the target is a creature, it must succeed on DC 13 strength saving throw or be knocked prone.
Can you just
And
fail
I have failed
automatically?
because I'm restrained. I
You
think
are knocked
there's-
prone then.
So, restrained and knocked prone.
And prone.
Oh,
Yeah, so-
you took my shot.
Ezra falls
Sorry.
to the ground, and then just like vines are just like wrapping him up and just holding him in place.
Whoa, this is too much. I didn't sign up for this.
Actually, you did, Victor. You agreed.
Okay.
Seredan.
There you go.
Oh, I need you to make me a concentration check for Cloud of Daggers. 3 concentration checks.
So,
Or- yeah, 3.
concentration. It's gonna be
The
concentration.
damage is always just gonna. It's just a 10
just
every
10,
time, right?
yeah,
He never took more than 20.
So the Constitution save.
Yeah, so it's just your con save.
3.
So plus 1.
So 14. Oh, that's a save.
3?
Right.
Yeah, sorry,
There's
plus
3.
3. Yeah, you're right.
So you just need above a 10 3
So
times.
that one. Natural 20 on the second one.
And then the third one?
The third one.
Third
For
one.
Darian.
Darian.
Son of a Darian. 8.
Son of a Darian.
8 will not do it. Do you have
Cloud of
epic
Daggers.
die you would like to put
I
in
would.
there?
I would pour that into it. There's an additional 4.
Okay.
Not that I'm playing favorites here, I'm just reminding people.
Cory's just the referee.
Stay in there. Don't come out.
I-
All right.
Plus, I want to see how
Listen.
she does.
I'll stay here. You go kill everybody
Okay,
else.
so question, Cory. Could I
Yes.
crawl out the window on the left without...
So it's partially in the window as well. He's
Okay.
got it kind of partially on both.
Uh-huh.
I would say
Can he stab
It's supposed to be a 5 foot...
through the...
The area of Cloud of Daggers is a 5 foot cube.
Well, he cast it right in the middle of 4 square, so perfectly is in.
Well, okay,
Yeah,
but if it's in the middle of 4 squares, it's not at least half into 1 square, so it wouldn't affect any of them. So you'd want it to be in the middle of 2, and then it would affect
it's
2
halfway
squares.
between the door and the window.
Okay.
I would say give me an acrobatics check. Let's have you
Well-
avoid it. That is what I would rule.
Okay,
That's-
I'm just going to, instead, I'm going to, well, let's see. What bonus action options do I have?
partially because Keskes is there trying to steer the ship.
Right. Actually, so Sarah is just going to cast Song of the Unseen
Yeah.
on herself with her action.
All right.
But before she does, she's just going to be looking out the window at Eve and just be like, "Isn't she glorious?
I mean,
Kes,
we need to
Kes,
watch
isn't
out
she
for.
glorious?" And then just like, and then she'll start singing and like disappear.
Who am I
Glad I
worried
don't have to
about?
remember that
I
because
don't
Song of the
even
Unseen.
And yeah, she'll just I'll cast that with my action and bonus
So
action.
everybody needs to make a saving throw, I believe, or a perception check for something unseen, because you haven't taken any.
Oh, yeah.
Correct. And the DC on it is. Sorry.
What is it? Perception?
Hold,
Check.
please.
It's a wisdom saving throw, I believe.
It is a wisdom save. 16. Wisdom save of 16.
16.
I rolled a 15.
16.
Victor doesn't see. Ezra does. Bolt doesn't see.
I succeeded.
Okay. So Ezra and Eve are still aware of Seredan's general presence.
I just always know where that sickly, gross love.
It's still at disadvantage to attack, but you are aware. It's not pure invisibility.
And then
Bolt and Victor, on the other hand, well, Victor's busy.
my bonus actions
Bolt
are
has
all
Somebody get her off of me!
spells, which I can't do because I cast a spell with my action. And I can't see Ezra right
Nope.
now, correct?
Nope.
Okay, I will actually, as a bonus action, I'm just gonna put my Hexblade's Curse on Bolt. I'm assuming I can see him.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can see my leg.
Yeah. Like
He's like Ant-Man right now.
Hexblade's Curse, and then I just am gonna be trapped, I guess, for this turn. Until I can Misty Step out of there on the next round.
Okay.
Don't do it.
All right, so we'll go to the top of the round here as Keskes continues to fly the ship. He's starting to fly it lower to the ground now. He's a little concerned with what's going on, so he wants
These
to.
crazy people are going to kill us all.
So we'll say that the airship is only 50 feet above the ground instead of 100 as it was before.
So not lethal damage is what you're saying.
No longer lethal damage. Victor, it is your turn. You are restrained and prone, my friend.
All right.
I
You
don't
can't
believe
stand up
you can't
'cause
stand.
his
your
move
speed's-
speed is 0.
Yep, your speed is 0.
So, for the
mean.
for the restraint, is there a save? There's another strength save at the end of the turn. Or how's that
For
work?
ensnaring strike.
On ensnaring strike.
It's until
What
the
is
spell
the-
ends, I think.
Well, but I think at the maybe at the end of his turn he can try
can
to
try
make
to-
another.
Oh,
save.
typically
yeah,
the
typically
ongoing effects.
you do. Yeah.
Do. When restrained by this spell, the target takes 1d6 piercing damage at the start of each of its
Okay,
turns.
1d6. Okay, so you're doing 1d6.
All right, so
So, okay.
top of the round. It is Victor's turn.
Okay, so you get 1d6.
It's my turn. 1d6 of the damage.
And I rolled a 6.
And then do you get to make the save on this spell?
So, while
Six.
restrained by this spell, the target takes 1d6 piercing damage at the start of each of its turns. A creature restrained by the vines, or one that can touch the creature, can use its actions to make a strength check against your spell DC. On a success, the target is freed.
So you can use an action to free yourself.
Listen, Eve. You need to calm down. I'm going to
You
attack
need to
her
calm down.
with the needle steeped in the love potion.
Yeah.
You have disadvantage.
I
'cause
do
you've
have
restrained.
disadvantage. But I'm going to negate that if I need to. I'm going to use my inspiration. That's a 9. Probably not.
She's really high. See, it's so
Oh wait, I
stupid.
gotta roll twice. So yeah, 9. So that's gonna be
Only if you're
19
fighting
hit.
her, right?
That will miss.
I'll miss. So I'm gonna use my inspiration. Where's that at?
I wouldn't waste it.
Come
Okay.
on, baby.
So the first one's 5. Yeah, so that's too low. So you see this little needle just kind of past your head.
Yep.
You didn't see that.
Can't you call it back on your next turn?
No. Ooh. Question. That needle, does it count?
Technically, it is a bonded weapon.
It is a bonded weapon. Where would the needle be after the attack?
Typically,
Would it just be behind her?
yeah, typically it would be behind her.
So can I use a performance point? Bonus action to teleport and switch places with it, so my blade is where my body was.
Yes.
And use the performance point to make the attack.
Mhm.
Okay, let me make sure that's a bonus action.
You can also stand up after that.
Very
point.
cool class.
I'm impressed.
I love it.
Swap places with your blade. Bonus action. And then I think we added on that we I have to use a performance point to be able to do that.
Yes.
So I'll do that, and
Nice.
so I'll make the attack.
Right.
And I will leave the other defensive blade behind. So these 2 blades are right here.
Yeah, so the needle is now where you were, and you are where the needle is. So yeah, so he says, ignore that, and then just poof, disappears.
And
Now,
that's
is he still... He's still
Victor?
restrained, is he not?
Teleportation, I would get rid of that restraint. As far as I'm concerned with this
if you miss,
particular
you can
spell,
misty step out of that stuff too, right?
yeah, you can teleport out of things.
Yep, that's what I thought.
That's not exactly a SDR, but that is how I play my games, because teleportation should...
Yeah.
I
This
agree.
one is a melee attack specifically, so I can't use some of the. I think Piercer requires ranged, so I won't be able to use those. But I do have advantage on it. It says so. There's a 2
So you get sneak.
and a 7.
Oh.
So that's not high enough. So that's going to be 17 to hit.
That will miss.
So I kind
You
of.
need to
See, we
make
all roll
a
terrible
concentration
ones.
check for the damage that you took at the beginning
So
of
that
the
was
turn.
D6, so it needs to be above a 10. So that's a 9 or 10 plus
14.
Yep.
So we're good there.
Victor, you tricky little
No, this is like
sneak.
that's just
Tricky little bitch.
I was going to say that, but I didn't. But thank you for saying it for
Baba
me.
Yaga.
Well, we can cut it, or we can leave it in.
now. Remind me. No, it's bonus action. Okay. Yep, that's it. So I will basically just kind of swing behind her, and she'll kind of duck out of the way. Sorry to bother you. Please don't kill me.
You will be sorry.
Ezra.
Ezra, help!
Oh, jeez. I'm gonna shoot you in the back.
He just doesn't want to be last place.
So,
Remember,
Expern will fly down.
Gang up on one
Remember,
person.
I'm keeping her at bay.
Yeah, but you're easier to hit. Okay, 22.
Yeah.
Okay. Only one. So that's gonna be 20 damage.
Okay.
And I'm gonna
Only one.
use
20 damage.
I'm gonna use.
I'm going
So
to
that you
have
were
it.
just eating popcorn.
I'm gonna
Wait,
use
I'm
a
just enjoying my
bonus
time.
action, and I'm gonna ensnaring strike you, or whatever my arrow's called. So grasping arrow.
Grasping arrow.
Sweet, I'm going to use web on him next.
So I'm
Gang
going
up on
to
Victor
use
episode.
my reaction to have the
I'm
attack.
so
The
sorry.
damage.
The fight ends with
Only 10.
So grasping arrow, you're gonna take 2d6 more damage.
Okay.
So that's 10 more.
Just
Weird.
give me
So
the
5
totals.
more.
Like you can.
So,
So
take
that's
15
30
total damage.
15
15
total
total.
after the half.
After that.
Let me go.
And then
Let me go
if you move,
to,
you're gonna
like,
take more damage.
this
So you
one.
need to make an athletics check, or you can make an athletics check to break out.
As an action.
As
So
an action.
I am
Yeah, see, it's loading.
straight up
This
stuck,
page.
or is there a save before that?
No,
Speed is reduced
you're
by
not.
10, and it's
Your speed reduced, but you're not restrained.
yeah,
But
you're not
every time
restrained.
You, move,
You just take damage if you move, but you can take your action to break
okay,
it if you
okay,
want.
Got it. Okay.
You're not restrained or anything. You're just gonna get
You
poked.
sneaky bastard.
sorry, and then I'm gonna shoot you again. This time I don't have advantage. That is only a 10.
Miss.
Okay.
So I'll kind of
Concentration check.
all the blades float around. That is a 5 plus
4 is 9.
9.
Poof.
The cloud of
My
daggers.
cloud of
fades away.
daggers.
All right. Good luck.
This is a bit double-edged sword for me, but it's worth it.
I see where this is going.
So what would Bolt like to do?
I'll run up here, and I'll try to attack Eve. Just
Right.
punt her.
Don't. Don't give me ideas.
You don't have the fly spell that could lead to death.
Oh, that's true.
we're
We're only
load the
50
ship.
feet, yeah.
It's fine.
She can catch the hook and swing around. Ezra short is this.
Only a 17 for the first attack. It's a miss. And then a 29 for the second attack.
That will hit.
I'm going to invoke my fire rune. with
Nice.
this.
Okay.
I should have done Shield of Fate. Forgot about that.
So then
I
I
usually
usually
put on everybody else.
2d6 plus I get a d6 for Giant's Might.
You added your D8 for the weapon.
Yeah.
So that's a 22.
Okay.
And you have to succeed on a strength saving throw or you are restrained for 1 minute.
Everybody's just rapping.
Restrained.
Hold still. Hold still.
So that would be a
And Seredan's just
DC
like looking at the
16.
door.
Let them all whittle each other down.
I got 19.
Okay.
Okay, and as a reaction, I'm going to cast Hellish Rebuke. So,
Fury
I
like
point my
me.
finger, and the creature that damaged you is momentarily surrounded by hellish flames. You must make a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah, but they're flames in the shape of butterflies.
It changed the psychic damage.
Dex save, you said?
Mm-hmm.
6.
And you hit a 19. So, you will be taking 4d10.
How'd your DC get so high?
None yet.
None yet.
No, that actually is like all mine.
I don't know.
She has a plus. She has a magic shield. She has magic armor. I think she might.
No, not her AC.
Her DC.
Oh, her DC.
And a
Her
19.
charisma is 20.
Okay.
And that
21.
item you gave her last
21
week gives her a plus
Plus
2
2.
to
What
her.
type? What
Correct.
type is
Yes.
her? Fire?
Yes, fire damage.
Of course, it's the item that I
You
gave her
only have
last
yourself
time.
to blame.
Yes, exactly. Do you have any reactions you'd like to use?
No.
As a... You sure?
If you're thinking of Cloud Room, I can't because it's not an
No.
attack roll.
Yeah, it has to be an attack.
Well, I don't know if that'll work.
Fair and balanced, fair and balanced.
Will it work though? Because it says a creature you can see within 5 feet may not.
Probably not.
Are you going to be helping us too?
Yes.
He already has.
I'm just making sure.
Yeah. It's no longer brother versus brother.
Brother versus
Um,
brother.
Absorb element should work here.
Oh, I forgot I had that.
Half damage.
Yeah, I'll do that.
This is how I play board games, typically. Even when I'm in the board game myself, I'm like, well, you could do this. And
So now I have a d6 of fire that I'm sitting on.
So you take half damage from the rebuke,
Mhm.
and then you have a d6 of fire damage on your next attack.
And then resistance until the start of my next turn.
Is there anything else Bolt would like to do with
And that's all I can do. Well, I can do my bonus action. Yeah, I'll do my bonus action and get some temps.
Eve?
Okay. Bolt, I'm going to overlook what you just did to me because I'm after Vicky.
Now we can talk about this. Listen, Mike.
Snake holes? That will be a 21 to hit.
I don't get my reaction back until the start of my next turn, right?
Correct.
Is it the start of your next turn? When was the last time you did
That's
When you
14.
hit it, so I don't
Yeah,
have
so
my
you don't have
reaction. So.
14.
14 damage.
But, Ensnaring Strike is a concentration spell.
But I think it just applies on your next attack. And then
Just
for
on
you,
the
the
next.
spell's
So I
over.
have to cast it as a bonus action.
You would have had
recast
to,
as a bonus action.
But I think he's unconscious.
No, she can cast it. I'll save you guys the rest.
No. We're fine.
Victor goes, now listen.
He taps out. He just taps the. taps the
okay. I get it.
He gets the Tempered Mercy right to the stomach and kind of keels over.
I think I need to throw up.
Is it in the shape of Eve's fist, but it's like this big?
Please roll with disadvantage,
Okay.
because you did not attack Bolt, and Bolt hit you with his
Ah, that's right.
Oh.
Well, the next one was 15 plus 9.
Still hits.
Yep.
I have pretty low AC, so
I tried, Victor.
it's okay.
I forgot.
I concede. I concede.
Okay, Victor is out.
I was gonna let you take first place anyway because you're the leader.
Well,
Such a
that
He's
was,
just like, that's basically the equivalent of I just let you win.
He's licking his wounds.
that was thrilling. All right, Bolt, your turn.
This is not with
A natural one.
You just hit the rock. It's next to me.
Sniggles, what's wrong with you?
And then Darian.
Darian, he's gonna bless his soul. He's gonna try.
He runs off the
He's
edge.
gonna try and ram you.
So mean.
So he can't move 20 feet.
That's fine.
Wings
Well-
He's probably going to miss anyway.
No.
16.
16. Won't miss.
It's all right, Darian.
I actually, nice try, Darian. Good boy. And I give him a pat on the head.
As long as you don't give him a sugar bomb. You know how that makes him.
Darian, come here!
I only have the I only have the spicy ones, I think, left.
Roll me an animal handling check.
Oh, dear.
Darian,
Natural
come
20.
over here!
Okay. He looks to you first for confirmation that he can go get it.
No.
It's not the sugar bomb!
He just looks sad and dejected at you.
But it's still sugar.
Then, is anything, or is there anything else that you would like to do?
No?
Okay. Then it is Seredan's turn.
Okay. What's it going to take to get on top of the roof?
Swig, kick right in the face.
It's
Put you back down.
Acrobatics.
It's a 10-foot up, so
Grab it
just
and,
give
like,
me
do a-
Stab Craggy in, bounce on it, and have it materialize in your hand as you come down.
Yeah, if you could.
Oh, no!
Remember, this isn't craggy,
Refuse.
by the way.
Oh,
So having I was
No,
going
this
to,
is Scalebreaker.
I was going to drop my daggers here, throw a dagger behind
Fake
Sarah, and then try and push her into the
Athletics or acrobatics?
Fogey.
It didn't.
We'll call it a DC 12.
Okay. Either is the same. Oh, gotta use my inspiration for that one. Crap. Come on.
Zen.
Wow. I rolled a 2 and then a 1.
You are not destined to fight with
All
me.
right, so I will use a bonus action to Misty Step
Aw.
up to the top.
So Seredan spends their action, much like they did in the Vault of the Morai, trying to scramble up a wall and not doing anything, and then just Misty stepping up.
Fine.
As she steps up, like one of the boards breaks.
And she'll land right next to Easy and say, boo, and then make an attack.
You know I saw you the whole time.
That is
I can hear you
a,
humming.
let's
But
see,
you wait. Oh yeah.
21 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay.
I don't think you're gonna have a problem hitting me.
Nope. Sorry, I gotta remember what dice I'm using now. That one plus that one.
Smite me.
Plus, okay. That is 23 damage.
Okay, I am gonna use my reaction, use my tattoo. I'll spend some charges of that, and that's a
Did you
D8.
sure blow up and
8
chase
or
him amok?
6. Let me check. Nope, this way.
Victor Popcorn?
D8. So I'll
Now that you're out, you get popcorn.
I'm gonna spend 4.
You crawl over and
Well,
Cass is just like,
enjoy
he just like
this.
drops them into your lap.
That's 21 I'm reducing it by, so I take
So you take
1 damage.
two.
2 damage? Okay.
2 damage. I'm also gonna pile an Eldritch Smite on that.
You're so mean.
Okay.
So that's 4d8 more.
Sorry, I'll burn my tattoo for this.
Okay, that's 10. So 17 more.
Okay.
And that's an Eldritch Smite gone. And then second attack. Is a, let's see, that's a 19 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. 4.
Nice.
26 damage.
Okay.
And I will pile an Eldritch Smite on that as well. So that is another 16 damage. And that's my turn.
So Seredan appears, comes down, strikes 3 times kind of
Oh.
overhead.
I'm sorry, I can only Eldritch Smite once per turn.
Oh, okay.
So
add
subtract
16
16,
back.
yeah.
Slices down. Ezra brings up the shield to kind of block it. And on that third hit, you guys both hear the telltale cracking sound of wood, and then the roof caves in.
Oh no.
So I need both of you to roll me an acrobatics check to see if you land on your feet, or if you take just a little bit of falling damage here. Also, Cascas needs to
Acrobatics, 18.
15.
Okay, so you're both good. However,
dies.
the wood lands on Cascas, and he is going to take some bludgeoning
He
damage.
is now unconscious, and the
I
ship
feel
is
so
crashing.
bad.
He takes 6 bludgeoning
Sarai,
damage.
what have you done?
He rubs the back of his head, and he looks back at both of you like standing there in the rubble,
This tall.
and he goes, "Out! Everyone out! Bolt!"
Just a minute more.
Okay, then it's back up to the top of the round here. The ship lowers to 20 feet above the ground. And
So 20 feet from the bottom, which would be 40 feet from the deck.
yeah, Kes rolled a natural 20. He's not concussed. He's good.
Okay, good.
Is that 40 feet from the deck, 20 feet from the ground?
Yes.
His
yeah.
horns took the brunt of most of it.
They're a little less curly.
Victor's gone, so Ezra.
Some poor
All
shepherd.
right, I'm going to
Some
say
shepherd kids out there, like in the field, and all of a sudden the sheer ship just like
say,
right over his head.
I may fire
far
from
farm
far,
shade.
but I can fight in close range, and I'll tackle you off the edge of the boat.
So you're both in the building right now.
I thought it collapsed.
Yeah, the roof collapsed.
Oh.
So we're like,
You're in.
Through the door, through the
So the
wall.
walls didn't. Okay, fine. I'll just go through the wall. It's already weak
I
infrastructure.
like it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a harder difficulty.
Okay.
so you gotta
let's do
make a
strength.
grapple check
Yeah.
on me and then try to
So
drag me
is-
through
is
a wall.
that-
Or it's the
Yes.
shove.
Hey,
All right.
the dice gods
All right,
are my
Mr.
favorite.
Eight. Strength.
Wouldn't it just be the shove?
I'll take the shove action.
Yeah, you could
Through a
just
wall?
Spartan kick him through the wall.
Yeah, why not?
It happens
It
in
is.
movies.
It is Keskes's ship.
That's an athletics check
Yeah.
on your part.
Okay. Athletics 19.
Whatever.
Yes.
20!
Boom!
Do you have any epic dice?
Yes, I do.
Whatever.
Dang it! So I only rolled a 1.
So Seredan, like Ezra tries to rear back and like kick you, and you know that like Keskes's ship isn't really good, and you manage to bring Scalebreaker up and block the kick, and it just gives you back into the wall. You can hear it cracking behind you, but it doesn't give way, so you are safe for now.
That was your action.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bonus
Does
action.
Kes-
I'm pulling out my katana. I'm getting
Okay.
ready for next
Does
turn.
Kes get an attack?
No. Keskes is not
He
participating.
pushes both of them.
But I do want a second wind.
Technically, that would
Once-
count as healing,
Okay.
but it
Okay.
is only
Yeah,
once
true.
per
Short rest.
encounter thing. So
No,
I will
it's
leave it
okay.
as
We
a
already
bonus
said
to the
no
group.
healing. We already said no healing.
Okay. And then it is Bolt's turn. Bolt.
Don't hate me, Darian, if I hit your master.
Good luck.
21.
That will miss.
Okay. Second one. Lower. Stupid dice.
So Bolt is just like hand swiping at Eve, and she's ducking between your legs. And then Eve, it's your turn to respond, unless you would like to do anything.
Oh, Bolt. It's the muscles versus the muscles. Let's see how you do against
It's just the clang
the
of metal.
tempered
repeatedly.
mercy.
Just throw her.
Ooh, that's not gonna hit. 14.
Nope.
Second attack. Bleh. 20.
Nope.
Obviously, quite well.
It's just
Both- we
super
both
minute,
whiffed
would
it.
say. And then Darian.
Darian, he'll just try.
Who's the
Natural
witchy?
20. That's 25.
That's okay. You're a good boy.
Right into like a knee joint.
He's like that
gosh.
turtle on TikTok.
Yeah.
Right.
Heard of sheep and dwell.
Okay, so
Brr.
let's see.
So max that damage.
So that's
and then roll the die.
6 plus 4, so 10
Good
plus
boy.
3. 13.
Cloud rune.
Who's that good boy?
Oh, he's gonna have this.
Sarah.
Somebody from
Redirect.
30 feet?
As long as he can see
Yeah.
me.
You can't. You
It
did
doesn't.
not.
It doesn't say that I have to see the target.
Oh, really?
Only the person that attacked me.
I think it has to be against a target you can see, but I'm assuming you can see me.
I read it like 3 times just to make sure.
Within 30
Well,
feet,
there is
right?
a window.
Well, no, yeah, you are actually taking hostile action, so he would be able to see you. Anyway, so.
Okay. But I just did it because it was a crit, so
Yeah.
it automatically hits.
And how
'Cause
much
it uses
damage was it?
13.
13.
13? Okay.
If he's that far
Every
away,
little
is
bit.
there? Is she not prone, or how's that distance work?
It
I
has
think
to
it
be
just does
This is where Cloud Rune confuses me because it's like the damage goes.
It says the chosen creature becomes the target of the attack using the same roll.
the slam would probably have done
This magic can transfer the
But I
attack's
think that's just
effects
against a prone
regardless of
creature.
the attack's range.
one prone creature. You're right.
Interesting.
So,
I'd probably say it probably doesn't take effects for.
Yeah, the only part of the see thing is when you or a creature you can see is hit on attack roll.
Because it's just the stag. It's like the anything with a pounce or whatever that has distance. That's where it gets kind of weird.
Let's see.
I don't think it picks
So-
up momentum or anything as it travels
The,
over.
the
just
cloud rune
fire.
says it transfers. This magic can transfer the attack's effects regardless of the range.
Okay, so it's
Yeah.
not taking Darian over there. It's hitting you, and then
And I'm just
absorb it and
redirecting
then
it.
throw it somewhere else.
It's like a portal gun style.
Got it.
It's aim.
That makes more sense. 'Cause it's just I don't
Yeah,
know.
it doesn't say anything about needing to see the second target. That's interesting. You would think so. Okay.
All right.
All right.
I even
That's
went
our
to
turn.
like the detailed view of it because I was like,
It's like, this doesn't make any sense. Then it after Eve, it is Seredan.
Redirect it to the little shepherd boy we passed, and he just explodes.
I
he's
will
got 2 HP because he's a commoner.
take some swings.
You can try.
That is, if only I had Hexblade Curses on you. That's a 23 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. For 26 damage.
Okay.
And then I will make a second attack. And that is a 22 to hit.
Hits.
For also 26 damage.
I am unconscious.
Okay. Sorry, easy.
Okay.
I really want the best room. And then
They're
she'll
all
run
magical.
up.
They're all the
What would you consider the best room?
Whichever one.
First pick. Whatever. And
The
then
one
she'll-
with all the dogs.
Well, look at it this way. Sari is now gonna have. The competition in her is gonna have to temper, or she's gonna knock Eve out too, and then there's gonna be a feud.
No, it'll be a lovers' quarrel. They'll fight for a second
And we'll
and
just
then
start
end up
making
making
out.
out.
Land the boat.
And then it's it.
You guys are gonna share a room anyways. Why are you even fighting? This is stupid.
butt action attack on Bolt. And that is a crit. I
Nice.
crit.
It doesn't.
Two were crits.
It doesn't max. My armor
Oh,
ignores
adamant.
crits.
So it's just a regular hit.
Okay. All right. So that's going to be. Oh wait, no,
You're gonna be there for
not
like
the
5
D10,
minutes while
this
she's
is
trying to
butt
hit
action.
Eve, and Eve's just like ting, ting.
That is 21 damage.
Force damage, right?
3 of that is fire. No, it's slashing. Oh wait, sorry. Plus my proficiency bonus 4, because I've got Hexblade
25?
Curse on you. So yeah, 25.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
Okay. Bolt.
I'm gonna try to punch Seredan,
With disadvantage.
even though she took a hostile action.
It's always disadvantage. It's just that you can see her now.
Well, that's a 24 or a 26.
So 24.
Yep.
No, never
I
mind.
don't have the
I'll just take it.
fire dice from absorb elements. I think it's only 1 turn. Right.
On your, I think it's on your
Yeah, your
next
next
attack.
turn. Next turn it says. Otherwise, yeah, I'd still have it. Okay, is that does hit? Yeah.
Ezra, popcorn.
I'm going to.
Not
Well,
that you're out of the fight.
never mind. Yeah, I'll take the damage.
We're both like, Ezra, you okay?
Yeah.
Missing any teeth? Hate for the ladies to miss
17.
Yeah, actually, I am.
And then I'm going to try to hit.
I think I found it.
Lesser restoration required.
I'll
No,
throw
I'm
it
trying to
over.
hit Sari.
I'll find it. Throw it over the thing to you. Bing, bing, bing.
That's a crit.
Disadvantage.
15.
Miss.
Yep.
Now you know my pain. Okay, but Thunder Gauntlet has been triggered. So
Years.
Right. So
FYI.
if I
Not
make
that
an-
it matters.
If I make an attack
Yeah,
against
yeah,
anyone but Bolt, it's with disadvantage.
Eve, it is your turn.
Question.
Okay.
If he redirects it with Cloud Rune, does that trigger? Or it has to be willingly that you hit someone else with an attack?
Well, you can only use it once per short rest. But Cloud Rune will take if it can take any attack that's made that you can see. It doesn't even have to be against
You
you.
just basically
it's
like swapping the
and
people
direct
in
it to
attack.
somebody else instead.
So the hit doesn't matter because it already hit. And
No.
just redirect.
No,
Well,
it says it
the
uses
roll.
the
Still
same
use the
roll.
roll.
Yeah.
That's why I did it with the crit.
Oh.
Crit, yeah.
Got it. That makes sense.
Otherwise, you have to know the creature's AC
Right.
or have
First
a
it
good
is
idea of it.
Makes sense.
All right, Eve.
Okay, I will bonus
This is
action.
turning out to be our 3,000 subscriber special.
Yep.
I will bonus action Hexblade's Curse on Ability Boy.
2 curses cancel out, by the way.
Oh,
Don't
is
you
that
know
right?
Yeah.
And then I will...
It's called Hexblade
Tempered Mercy.
Equation.
16 plus 9. 25.
Yep.
Alright. So that's 15. Plus, might as well smite every now and then.
I was going to recommend it.
Okay. I can't remember how much my smite is. Depends on what level I do it at.
2d8.
Listen,
minimum.
Ezra, next
2d8
time
is
I
the
think
first
we
level,
should,
yeah.
we should team up
8.
or something.
That's
because
so 9.
that did not go hard.
9 more.
Yeah, it's really
Second
making
attack.
me question my place in this group. I'm pretty weak.
That's
I
27.
thought I was strong.
15 plus...
Seredan just sneaky. Yes.
I'm pretty sure she cheated. There's no way.
So that's 18, and then I'll do another smite. For another 10.
Smoke if you got him.
Is that it, Eve?
Wait a second. Do I get extra damage with Hexblade's Curse?
4.
Your proficiency.
bonus.
You hit twice, so it's 8 technically.
Yep. And then Darian will try to hit you again.
Supercharge.
Ooh, so that's a 24.
Yep.
He never does this well.
I know. That's why I'm like,
Because you
he's
told him he
always
was a
like
good boy.
enemies and he
Good boy.
hates his allies.
His bardic
Uh,
inspiration.
Yeah,
encourage him.
you're doing so good. I'll give you
that's
that sugar
9.
bomb later.
9 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Seredan.
Okay.
Sorry, Bolt. I do feel bad ganging up on you.
I'll take some
you're so giant.
attacks.
You do not.
I figured it was coming.
And that's only a 16 to hit.
Yeah, 16.
And I'm actually going to turn off Great Weapon Master
Okay.
for these next 2. Because his AC is really high. So that is a 24 to
Yep.
hit.
No, that's-
But for much less damage. So that'll be 7 plus 5, 12 damage.
Okay.
And then butt action is, look at those terrible, terrible rolls. 17.
Nope.
So yeah, just 1 hit.
Okay.
That's it.
And you're still standing?
Yes.
Well, it is your turn.
He's still standing.
AoE. AoE.
Yeah. I'll do Thunder Wave at the 2nd level.
Okay.
The ship breaks in half.
Oh,
Now
no.
we're stranded in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, there is definitely creaking under your feet.
Well. Yeah, sure. It'll be my one last.
Last
thing.
huzzah.
Yeah.
How far does it
So,
knock people
roll-
back? 15 feet or something?
Roll Constitution saves 15 or higher.
15 or
That's my
higher.
way.
Okay. That's a
Yep.
28.
I rolled a 16, so.
And Darian?
Oh.
Yeah, proof that little
He rolled a
biatch.
natural 1.
Get off of here.
So Darian will take full damage.
You're no longer our family pet.
You were a good boy, Darian.
He won't poof, he'll just...
Okay.
Take some damage.
So
Unless he gets
that's
knocked off the ship.
10 damage to Darian, 5 for each.
Is there any knockback
Oh,
with that?
well, he's still
No.
up then.
Darian does get knocked back, so he goes off the edge.
Okay, 5 for
So
us.
that's 40 feet? 40 feet of fall damage?
46.
No, we're only
20 and then the boat's probably.
Because it
Yeah,
was
it's 20 feet from the bottom.
20.
Okay.
Sorry, Darian.
You're still a good boy.
46.
Yeah.
He's... Bye. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Scramble onto the end.
Sebastian.
Can I choose not to? Since
I think it
Darian.
says you push them up to 10 feet.
Up to, yeah.
If it says up to, you can choose not to push them.
It says pushed 10 feet away.
Nope.
Oof.
And they are pushed.
You're a good boy, Darren. Eduardo.
He just like, as he's going over the edge, he just like gives you that look.
And I'm just like, you
were.
Monster!
I take with the last sugar bomb and toss it at him.
He catches it in the air. He gets a moment of pure sugary joy, and then
Before he goes, splat.
It's just road pancake.
no, it is just mist. I would never
Fairy
do that
dust.
to Darian.
Bloody mist. Got it.
I'll leave that for Ixburn.
Oh.
Charred bird.
Well,
Hey, is Ixburn, when you're unconscious, does your
You've-
person...
You
does he do
poofed
he just takes the
Darian.
dodge.
I did
action.
poof Darian.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I didn't know if he
You're
was
asking
gonna die bomb
for it,
people.
then.
Oh, by the way, the ship held up.
Ooh, bad roll. 14.
Yeah, I didn't use shatter.
Yeah.
That was
14 for the first attack, which I assume misses. That is... And you said crits don't work on you?
correct.
Okay. Well, the second one should hit. That's a 28.
That's. Sorry, I was looking at the dice. It's like, ooh, 19.
That's 3.
Which is a
Are you
crit
kidding
for
me? So
X
that's
by target.
8.
Yep, you got me. I was at 7.
Okay. And then
You didn't give yourself
The
temps again?
Mario shrinking sound.
Eve will say, Sari, I'm sorry. I yield.
Chicken!
Yeah, with all of us. Boo! Even Darian from the afterlife.
He's missing a tooth. I've got a black eye. Or I'm just laying on the ground. Boo!
I knew
It
this would
wouldn't
happen.
feel right.
I knew this would happen.
She'll drop the song and she'll just lay her glaive down at Eve's feet and be like,
Go strike her now!
and be like,
He's getting really into it.
Do it!
Become more powerful.
"You're a queen among women,
Do it.
Thank you.
and I'm grateful that I don't have to meet the wrong end of your snake holes."
I'm gonna get up and
There is no.
since your
wrong
glaive
end of
is
the
at her
holes.
feet, I'm gonna kick it because I hate this.
I just summon it back because it's my hex weapon.
So, for our fourth and fifth placers, we'll give them each an epic die.
All right, it pays to suck.
Third place for Bolt.
Thank you.
Third place for
feel like I've
Eve.
seen this
And
in Hunger
then
Games or
first
something.
place for Seredan. Under protest. So, Cascas goes, "Are we finished?"
That was so much fun. Thank you, Kes and everybody.
Listen, I think you need to put his tooth back in because it's.
Oh, I can provide. Come stand around the snake holes.
I don't know. I look at them differently now.
You look at them differently.
These
I
never
got the
even
crap
touched
kicked
you,
out of them.
Ezra.
You have a permanent
I saw
snake hole
the
imprint
damage.
on your stomach.
I've got the All Might crumple.
Yeah.
Well, it's up
All
to
right,
you.
all right. I won my teeth back.
All right.
Everybody, you all go ahead and take a long rest. This was
Okay.
the second day. You got one more day.
I'll
to
help.
get
I'll
there.
help. Start fixing the boat.
Yeah, I was gonna see if I have the mending spell, but I don't. But
Yes,
if you
Kes,
do
I'm
you have
sorry.
mending?
No,
Bolts?
I only have 2 cancers.
It's okay. What's little damage among friends?
It was all Sere. I'm
You
just
know-
letting you know.
You know,
He's
Kes.
like
I weigh
plotting.
135 pounds.
The roof was fine when I was up here. Then all of a sudden, you're here, breaking everything.
Whatever, half orc.
Half elf, dwarf.
Listen, it does not need to devolve into this kind of language, you two. Don't make me put you in the corners.
I'm trying to
Well,
figure out how much I
Fine,
actually.
fine.
put them
Hug
in
it
the
out, and I'll
corners.
give you a big.
Go into the
Aw,
corner,
hug.
you two.
And then when I say you
friends.
down, I'll shove you away. Get off.
And you can summon Darian back.
Okay.
No issue.
Well,
Summon him back.
Should just grapple.
Easy.
I seriously don't know where to take a long
Yeah,
rest.
but
It's stupid.
your athletic score can't be better than.
Figure it out.
It's actually no. My athletics is not that good, but my acrobatics is decent.
But grapple is always an athletic.
Yeah,
check
that's
on the
why I
part
have a
of the
grapple.
grappler.
That's gonna suck.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I have a plus 11.
Not that it matters
Yeah,
now, but
you
does
would be really
blind
good at it.
sight? If Sarah is to walk near me with blind sight, because I still have 15 feet of blind sight.
No. It
She's
is not.
not.
It's not triggered by
it's
blind sight.
magic. Yeah.
Only true sight.
Well, I need to be deaf.
Okay, I'm so sorry for
Okay, here.
sending us on a.
Hey, no worries at all.
That was fun.
It was fun.
You now have a pecking order for the tower.
Guess I'm cleaning.
So what rooms are you guys choosing?
I
Don't know yet.
suppose we'll have to
Also,
see.
you summoned Darian back, right?
Yes.
I'm
It's
going
gonna
to
go like,
choose the
I'd be
one.
like, I'm so sorry. like scratching his ears.
Giving him a good like coat brushing.
And then I sneak him.
Sugar.
Bolt!
I think Darian should be doing that, like, when you see the dogs that are like huffing, they're just kind of...
Hey, to be fair, Darian landed some blows on Bolt too.
He did.
MVP, Darian.
Yeah, that was like the best he's ever fought is against our own party.
He just needs a little
rabbit.
encouragement, a little
I guess
good boy
so.
encouragement.
I guess you just needed to hit a target that was really large.
That's right.
All right. So on the third day, flying over the Bleakwood Forest is a rather tame affair after the events, especially when compared to the horror stories of flying over the tumultuous winds of the Poundsman Prairies or the beast-infested skies of the Emerald Wilds. However, it's not without its troubles. And that trouble comes in the sound of a giant clatter below deck, followed by Kes quickly scrambling to the hatch, saying, "Bolt, find the ship."
Oh, okay. Is everything okay?
Help?
Can Victor know anything about airships?
No, but I can hold stuff.
Perfect, come. And he leads you down into the hold, and you can see like there's just like it just looks like everything's kind of been torn, almost like pieces have been torn out and everything. And Kes kind of gives it a weird look and goes, "That's not right." And he starts like going through and trying to like fix what he can. And after about 10 minutes of like, here, hold this, lift this up, everything that you need, he shouts up through the floorboards and he says, "Put her down, Bolt, put her down."
Okay, I'll try to find the closest spot to.
Okay.
put
Yeah,
down.
it's not too far from the clearing here. You guys are pretty much like on the
just go,
border edge of the
Yeah, like that all day.
Bleakwood Forest. Yeah.
I'm gonna use my I want to smell, maybe see if I can detect any like stowaways or anything on the ship. That
Sure.
should be.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a perception check. 2. Never mind. You can't detect any
I'm too busy.
anything right now.
I'm looking at the heart.
Maybe it's time you teach me how to pray. This is kind of scary. How do we do that? I think I need to say sorry to that one claw.
Give me like a
To be honest with you,
I was a
I'm not
little-
great at praying myself.
Great.
Yeah, plus your intelligence. Intelligence plus
Hmm.
proficiency. Basically a land vehicle check.
That's just a 10. I'll add epic dice to it.
So this is where you start
13.
take me to church.
Yeah, should be good enough. You're able to it's not a gentle landing,
No.
but you're able to
Through a couple trees.
Yeah, through a couple trees. Everybody kind of gets jostled a bit, but it's good enough that you don't do any damage.
Sorry.
And,
Sorry about that. There wasn't a big enough clearing.
and Kes eventually comes upstairs with Victor, and he's kind of rubbing the back of his head, and he goes, "We have problem. Ship is broken, obviously. All of the equipment that I took from the Arcanum is poof. Gone.
Interesting.
How did that happen?
Enchantment on equipment, maybe.
Do you suppose they could just recall it from you?
Not sure. Maybe they
What?
have runes to self-destruct. Kes has several on ship.
Maybe it's the area. Because there's not an Arcanum presence, right?
But
What kind of equipment was it?
and he rattles off like 3 or 4 like radiators and spark vents.
Definitely a motivator.
Yeah, a motivator. Yeah, a condenser. He's
Flux
missing
capacitor.
a condenser.
Yeah.
A capacitor. Yeah, that sort of thing. Basically,
And
a
one
lot of
spring.
things that would make the ship go. And he goes, I have old parts I can install. Take a while to do. Day 2, 3. I don't know.
Maybe we just
Go faster
walk
with
the
extra
rest.
hands.
You have engagement. Kes would not want to interrupt. Kes knows how important it is.
Well, sorry if our fight blew your ship up.
Finally give new sunroof, which is looking rather good right now.
all Sere, all day.
Yeah, we did install a hatch that you can flip
we
open with
took
a
the
little...
opportunity.
Yeah.
But Wayward Watch should continue on. Pridefall, not too far south. Should be able to get there.
Yeah, how far away is it? If I look
You're probably about a half a day's journey from there.
I could stretch my legs after 3 days on this ship, to be honest.
Agreed.
if you're sure,
Yes.
I'm sure we'd be willing to stay and help.
Thank you. Go find your memory.
We'll
Come
be back.
on, it'll
We'll
be
back.
good for you.
If we
Let's
don't,
go.
if we don't see you in what, 2 days, 3 days.
Just
3 or 4.
just write us if you need anything.
That's true. Ring.
Cascas will.
Cass,
Yes, yes.
I'm just curious, what's the code for your ring?
Cascas leave that Cascas secret.
I bet it's Sarah's cute.
No, Cascas ring word is Osiris. Is Cascas's master.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have asked.
Nah,
That's very
You just
personal
asked him
question.
his password. That's really weird.
And he told me.
Listen,
so-
Cascas, bad security. You should not give your password out to anybody.
I mean, I know that that one is Sari is cute.
How do you know this?
You're not as quiet as you think you is.
You say it's so loud.
At least like 4 times a
Practically
day.
shouting.
Sarah is cute. Every time she takes the ring off.
It's like Shazam.
Say my name.
Good luck. Cascas will contact you when he's ready.
Stay safe.
You too.
I guess we head out.
Bolt, this is going to be really
I'll
awesome.
acrobatically jump off
You're gonna learn
20 feet.
everything. Everything you've wanted to do.
I can't wait to see where you came from.
I
Roll
hope
that
that,
acrobatics check.
I hope that we can find the remaining pieces. I would love to know everything about who I am. Besides,
I would like to know why they did not give you a butthole.
I want to know why they just left. Why didn't they look for you? Maybe they're not friends. Either way, we've got friends and family here. We have your back.
with that, I'll just pack up whatever supplies we need to carry.
Okay.
Start walking.
Climb down the ladder.
So you guys start taking just a standard trail, heading in the southern direction towards Pridefall Hamlet. And after about an hour of walking, a steady fog rolls in, and then it gets a bit heavier and a bit heavier. And soon you're pulling out the lanterns. You're pulling out the light fist in order to light the way because the fog is kind of surrounding you. Yeah. And it's still about a half a day's journey, but you get that kind of eerie feeling that you're being watched. No roll necessary to feel that
Roll
at
for
all.
eeriness.
Yeah. It's almost as if there is a presence in the fog itself that is following you.
Can I use Divine Sense?
Sure. What does Divine Sense
As an
specifically
action,
do?
you can detect good and evil. Until the end of your next turn, you can sense anything affected by the Hollow spell, or know the location of any celestial, fiend, undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover.
Okay. So you turn on Divine Sense and you get flickerings of undeath around you. Within how far is it?
60 feet.
60
60
feet?
feet? Yeah, it's sort of just like you get a flickering here or there within 60 feet of you. There is something nearby that is not alive.
That feeling that kind of like being watched, I want to try and stealth, like see if I could go kind of just break off and
Okay. Give me a
circle
stealth
back
check.
around and see if I can catch whoever's doing it. That's a 19 plus my...
Does anyone else feel like they're being watched, or is it just me?
I feel it. I've heard stories. This is how the Baba Yaga gets people.
And she's probably after you.
I know, I was going to say.
Oh.
I'm scared right now.
But be on your guard. I sense that there are undead creatures about us.
Nearby.
33.
Yes.
Are you heading in a direction in particular, or
Basically, like, if I feel like we're being watched and we're kind of going, like, I would probably make a loop around behind just to see if we're being followed.
Okay. So you don't see. Give me a perception check.
And this is with blindside of 15 feet.
But it will also be a disadvantage because everything beyond that is in fog.
So disadvantage is 2, and this is perception.
Yeah.
6.
6.
Not great.
Yeah, so you don't see anything following behind you as you make a circuit around.
I want to take Cinderhearth then and kind of have it not like super loud, like saying here we are, but like I'll just throw it out and see if I can Yes,
Go ahead and just give me another perception check. This one's regular.
16 plus my 4, so that's going to be 20.
You don't see anything moving out.
Okay.
That
I'll
doesn't
stealth
mean
back.
there's not anything
to
there.
I'll stealth back up to the party and hopefully sneak up on everybody and go, I don't see anyone following us.
Sidle us.
Sorry to scare you.
Do you have?
Are you?
Oh, I'm not sorry at all.
He rubs his indented snake hole.
You just have a permanent stomach tattoo of a snake.
I didn't know you were an outie.
I am now.
Wait, your stomach is out.
So much for greater restoration.
You have like 3 belly buttons.
It's actually a hernia.
So you continue on for about a half an hour, still have that feeling. If you activate Divine Sense again, you get the same like inklings, almost like something is ducking in and out of total cover, following you. But every time that like Victor goes out to try and search around with his blades, you don't see anything. Nothing is moving.
Try and catch something.
Until you're just about to Pridefall Hamlet. We'll say
So-
you're maybe about a half a mile out at this point.
I want to activate defensive field and then give everyone temporary hit points.
How long does that last?
It's indefinite.
Okay.
It's till it's gone, basically.
Or you take a long rest, probably, or something.
Yeah, I think it's a
You regain. I regain when I get long rest. It doesn't say how long it lasts.
Yeah, anyway.
So everyone gets
That's
six temps.
Sweet.
And you're about a half a mile out from Pridefall when finally one of your scouting excursions reveals something. And it reveals a pair of hunched figures inside what appears to be a little bit of a root structure underneath a kind of an overturned tree.
Now, did you tell us that it was undead smelling?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess from where I'm at, do I need to get closer to make out more of their features, like of what kind?
You gotta get
of
really
undead?
close.
Don't make out with
Don't make out.
So the fog
They may
is
not
still.
they're undead. They may not have lips.
So your blade is showing you,
Just
is
a
giving
peek.
you like a blind sense, like echolocation. You can see basic body shape. If you want to get within, I'd say you'd have to be within like 20 feet in order to see anything
Okay.
other than
And
fog.
as a I don't know, as like a sign or something, I will have told kind of even the rest. If I send a dagger back by itself, then I've located somebody, so I don't risk being kind of seen.
Okay.
So I'll send one of them.
Yeah, so you guys see a dagger
Yes.
come back, and
I don't
It
think
just
we're
goes
allowed
like
to
this,
touch
and
it.
we're like, what? Who
If
fell
you
down the
try
well?
and touch it, I call it back.
Do I know the direction that Preston went in?
when he calls it back, like
Yeah, I
Yeah.
call it back.
Okay,
It's
then
not
I'll
stretched.
cast a message and just be like, "What do you see, Vicky?"
I'm seeing some figures in the dark.
He says he's seeing figures in the dark.
He's jumpy. His eyes are playing tricks on him.
They are sort of new.
Ezra probably thinks it's my eyes tricking on me,
He says Ezra probably thinks it's his eyes playing tricks on him.
just because my eyes were they're not broken.
Blindfold
And I wasn't
gave him
using my eyes.
clairvoyance.
Right? I'll just send a message back saying we're coming.
Do we want to
And we'll
jump
just-
them?
Well, let's find out what they are first. They could be guards for the town.
I'll stay stuffed then, in an attempt to surprise should they.
okay. If the rest of you are
Discover.
running up, you will need to roll me stealth checks with disadvantage for those who have disadvantage.
I'm literally
21.
as I run.
Yeah.
13.
13.
12.
While we're waiting,
I
I'll
rolled
have
2
the
times.
basilisk dagger out.
15.
Still trying to figure out why I can't attune to it yet, because it hasn't spoken its name to me yet. So put the name in the comments.
Is it Shirley?
Thingy.
Basil.
I call her Beaver.
Don't call me.
Basil face.
So you guys are you guys
Basil.
march up
Basil.
there. You see
Go, Basil.
Victor as you're kind of like observing from your hidden position. As the rest of the party is making their way up, you see the figures in the burrow tents.
Okay.
They've obviously heard something.
And are they? So they would be stealth from these guys.
No, they know the general location, like they're following the dagger
Got it.
as it slowly moves through. So
But for what I'm saying is like, are they doing the Vietnam thing where they jump underground and now nobody can see them?
No, they're just kind of like tensing up, ready for a fight.
They have little
Was
foxholes.
Preston in Nam?
Flashbacks.
Past life.
Undead in the trees.
Time travel. Time
You do
crystals.
have like
coming
today a
back.
bit of a
he
Lieutenant
does.
Dan
Well,
vibe.
Oh, there you go.
He has like
Dan, you got new
like he came
legs.
back
You don't
from
have any
Nam,
legs.
but it was not a good experience.
Yeah.
And
They're all
he's
doing
like-
Wayne's World.
and he's really like not in a good place.
Yeah.
as a
Hey
result.
man, we'll take you in.
Those snake holes I've seen.
No
they-
offense to any veterans.
Yeah, truly.
Hey,
We appreciate your
it was
service.
a rough war. I'm just saying, it was not in a good place.
I don't think any of them are good. They're all rough. It's
right.
all bad.
All wars bad.
War is hell.
So, are you making any action before the rest of the party gets here?
If it looks like they're going to be ambushed, I will try and preemptively ambush But until then, I'm going to wait until they cognizantly know.
Yeah,
You're going to play the
It doesn't
reverse
look
card on
like
it.
they're no you. It doesn't look like they are like actively looking to ambush. It looks like they are getting ready to defend themselves.
I'll keep pinging Victor. Are they moving? What's going on?
They seem to
What
be
are
taking
they?
a defensive posture.
Can you tell what sort of creature they are?
Can I stealth a little closer to see?
Yeah, absolutely.
One moment.
Hold, please.
Please hold.
There's hold music. There's
I
hold
don't
music,
think message works that
There's
way. I
hold
just have to
music
keep
for the
pinging him
message.
until he wants
26.
to reply.
but it's just Victor going.
Yeah. Don't do
Just a movie.
Stop
Yeah.
singing
I am
like
busy at the moment.
It's like Kronk.
Leave a message and I will get back to you.
Stop singing that song in your
Leave a
head. It's
message.
really annoying.
At the tone.
I hate the elevator music version of that song. It drives me crazy.
How do you feel about the creed?
Yeah, so you're able to.
Would you like to learn more?
You are able to sneak up, and you see two figures. One of them is lying on the ground. She is a halfling. She has she's got her arms kind of bandaged up in a really like tight sling, and she's unconscious. The other one is an elf woman, and she looks like she's got really ragged hair, like she's been running for days.
And the halfling looks like she's being accosted and like whatever. by
It's
the
not.
elf.
It's not bound. It's more like triage.
Gotcha. Okay,
Yep.
got it bound. So like, okay, I want to approach the elf. Like, I want to basically kind of sneak up and say, if you know what's good for you, lay down your weapons.
Okay. So you will have to like get into their line of sight. You will have to break stealth in order, because the burrow that they're in is kind of like they have a defensive position.
Then I'll throw a dagger behind them but not attack.
Okay.
I'll just kind of.
Yeah. So you teleport it. You throw the dagger, teleport in. The elf is turning around, and Holly gets into a defensive crouch, and she sees you, and she goes, "Victor,
Lee, what are you doing here?
what are you doing here? Did they send more help?"
Sarah, come out. He's fine.
Okay.
And then you do notice that the halfling woman is Yinny, and she is
Your
currently
first love.
unconscious.
First knife dancing.
What is going on here? What has happened?
Yes.
Are the rest of your companions with you?
They are coming. We're about to kill you.
Please don't.
We were not about to kill anyone.
I mean, you did that to the last one. You walked up on the trolls and just.
Did anything follow you?
Is that right?
We
Right.
could sense
Ezra?
something undead around us.
That makes sense. We've been accosted by the undead for the past few days, trying to make it back to the hamlet.
What has happened to this place?
There's some evil force here that is causing an undead scourge to rise up. We don't know what's going on. They sent us in about a week ago, Yinny here and I and a couple other students, and we went out into the woods to try and figure out what was going on. We were attacked, and
Who were they? Who sent you in?
the Millibrax College, Six Hills.
Among us did.
Right, that's not too far from here.
They sent kids, children, or
They're like college students, right?
We're warriors in training. It's what we do.
Just remember, he's like 100 years older than he was before, so we're all kids to him.
Yeah, that's true.
It's good to see you anyway.
Yinny, can I
Are you okay?
assist with your...
Oh, sorry, Yinny is Yinny, and she kind of cracks her eyes open. She goes, "Are we dead?" No, we're not. Friends are here, and she moves out of the way so that you can come in. Yinny smiles and she says, "Wow, I'm glad to see you guys."
It's good to see you too.
You decided to join the creed yet? Or?
So you go ahead and give me a medicine check.
She's dying, and you're like, so,
Oh,
Religion,
boy.
right?
yeah.
Not good.
Probably should pick one before, go to hell or something.
Victor would try and not pick her up.
One.
You don't really you could perform healing on her and heal any of her wounds.
Yeah.
But it looks like her trauma is a bit more severe than that. And Holly will step forward and say, both of her arms are broken, and she's broken a few ribs. I've tried to do what healing I can, but unless we can get her to a place where we can set the bones and let them rest for a bit, they're going to heal wrong, and that's just not going to work for anybody. Unless you know any sort of restoration magic.
So would Cure Wounds be able to fix that?
Cure Wounds wouldn't. You would need something like a lesser or greater restoration. Probably lesser restoration would do fine in this case.
If not, I have a way that we can probably carry her if you have enough rope or material.
Oh, that should be no issue. We were just trying to hide.
I
because
have
we
lesser
thought,
restoration.
Well, in the event that we get
You
attacked.
do? Well, please, and she'll unwrap the arms from the slings, and Yinny will, grunt in pain, and she'll kind of help
Yinny will whinny.
She'll put the arms in a more straight position, and then let you cast Lesser Restoration.
All right.
Okay, and that it mends the bones in her arm, and she lets out a kind of a sigh of relief, and it'll also mend those cracked ribs and everything. So she will be able to be restored to full hit points on a rest, or if you want to give her a Cure Light Wounds now, you can, or Cure Wounds. Sorry, Light Wounds.
Light wounds.
Victor,
Victor's
kind of
hands.
helping, kind of brace her or whatever.
Mhm.
You would offer one of his potions of superior healing.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Yeah, she'll go ahead and drain that, and after she does, she says, "Do you have any water to wash that down with too?"
I got vodka.
Perfect.
There you go.
Okay, and she'll take a big swig out of the jug that you have.
Slow down there. It's my vodka.
Don't worry, I still have that jug of rock hopper.
Never mind. You can drink more.
I got the rock hopper stuff. But
Alex says, "We're not too far from the hamlet. I was hoping to make it by nightfall.
Would you care for an escort?
That would be great. Thank you. It's been
we'll let you know if we find one.
all right." Okay, so after Holly is, Yinny is healed, she takes a good swig and then hands you the vodka back and thanks you for it. And then she's going to stand up, and she's kind of crack her back a little bit, and she is going to reach back and tap something that you didn't see on her back, and a large kind of crystal shard that shimmers with multiple colors comes out and flies down and kind of hovers at her feet, and she's going to step up on it and just kind of get into position and then kind of crash down, and she'll say, "Ready to go?"
Rise up, Guardian.
What is that?
Oh, this is a gift from the Hall of Ben Sanctum. We were the first to clear it once they reopened it, so...
And how is Glitterbug?
Holly kind of rolls her eyes. She's fine. She's a menace, as usual.
Interesting.
She bugs me too.
That's pretty cool.
You're not alone.
Yinny kind of lets out a small chuckle, and she goes, she's just mad because of the gift that she gave Holly. It's a lower back tattoo. and Yinny, I'm sorry, I've been half.
Is it Glitterbug?
It is. Come on, show him. And she sighs and she turns around and she'll lift the back of her tattered shirt up. This is not the time for this. And it is like a serpent with butterfly wings as the lower back tattoo.
Classy.
It's lovely.
Bolt will love
Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Super good.
My parents will absolutely kill me if they find out about it.
Sure.
Right.
It's not a buttress, so I don't give a crap.
Let's go.
But it is the butterfly.
So you guys head off.
It's right above her buttress.
Holly will kind of give you the full spiel. Basically, they received a messenger from Pridefall Hamlet looking for originally Arcanum help, but obviously the Arcanum is so spread thin that they outsourced to the Millibrax College, either through their actual guards or in a case like this where they were talking about a few corpses wandering around. They sent in Holly, Yinny, and a couple others. And they arrived at the hamlet. They got told the information on where the corpses were being spotted, and they headed off in that direction. But they were ambushed by far more undead than they anticipated. a whole battalion's worth, including skeletal riders. There was ghouls. It was not pleasant, and 2 of their members didn't make it, and they
Was one of
they
them
had to run.
Brenda?
Wait,
Yes,
no.
whatever happened to him?
wait.
Oh, Brander's in jail.
Excellent.
Oh, good.
He's serving time. in Big Ten.
Undead. Didn't we see a portal?
Right,
with
I was going to
undead?
ask if there was
there was
any
an
talk
anchor.
of rift.
No,
Of
no
rifts?
No talk of rifts that we know about.
Is it
They
large?
were talking about taking us back to their general, but
General. We should meet that person and then kill them.
I think we should. Well, yes.
well, you're
Maybe
going
we
to
should pretend to be prisoners.
Let's do get help.
Yes.
You're going to meet them soon either way.
We
They're
can
gonna
pretend to
here.
be the rear guard. It will work.
Are they attacking in waves?
Always.
Yinny was able to scout out that their army is on the move, and they're going to hit Pridefall Hamlet in a day.
About how many
Well, we should
of
go
them are
prep
there?
them.
Oh, that is a...
battalion.
Do they have soldiers at Pride, whatever, Fall Village Vale thing?
They have a small militia that they can gather.
Niner in there or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Niner Breaker.
There's probably about, I'd say about 70 or 80. A couple big abominations. Looks like they had a siege weapon with them. It looks like they're
Sounds
gathering
fun.
an army.
Wow.
So, don't
Alright.
mean to brag or anything, but I think we can handle it.
And then you arrive at Pridefall Hamlet. And it looks like it's kind of your standard burgeoning town, which is surprising to see in the Verdant Farmlands. This place probably would be called a town proper if it wasn't such a remote location. There are a couple burrows leading up to it. Most of those houses they look like they've been boarded up. The crops that would consist of the farm steads have been withered or cleaned up and removed, that sort of thing. And you arrive back at the hamlet just as some militia are coming out. Basically, farmers in just whatever they can kind of find, maybe a chain shirt or two, some leather. They're carrying some rudimentary spears, crossbow or two, that sort of thing. And leading them is a kind of an older woman. She's got plenty of scars on her face. She's actually got a white eye patch on one eye. And she has kind of this really, probably, we'll say, down to about here, length hair. So, what would that be?
Chin length?
Chin length, yeah. And it's kind of this black chin length hair that's kind of a little bit of a mess. And she's kind of got like a sturdy build to her. And at her side is a single hand axe that looks to be coated in silver. And she's wearing like this wolf cloak. And she walks up and she goes, Yinny, Holly, you're back. And you've brought reinforcements, it looks like. I am Lydia Pine. I'm the mayor of Pridefall, and it's captain at this point. Well, technically I was the captain, and now I'm the mayor as well.
Hello.
Did something happen to the original
Captain?
mayor?
He booked it out of town when when things started going south, so I took over.
Mayor.
It's nice to meet you. We are the Wayward Watch.
Okay.
We've come here on a different errand, but it seems you could use our help.
I would absolutely appreciate your help, yes. If you're planning on staying, we'll get a report from Yinny and Holly here and find out what's exactly going on.
Any idea where these undead are coming from?
There's a tree. There's this old tree that kind of has been in the village for a while now. It's a couple miles out into Bleakwood, but that's where we typically bury the dead, that sort of thing. That's where people saw the first corpses going out there, to pay respects to family, that sort of thing.
And were any of the corpses recognizable as people that had perished and been buried there?
Some, yeah, that it was concerning, but there were also corpses that we had never seen before.
Sounds like we have a necromancer on our hands.
Yes, perhaps. Where did the fog come from that direction as well when it first arrived?
I'm not exactly sure where the fog came from. It just appeared probably a day after Yinny and Holly arrived. We haven't been able to get any word out since, as far as I know. We've sent a couple messengers, but nobody's returned.
Well, should we hunker down here and try and defend the town, or go out and take a look at this
Wait,
graveyard for ourselves?
Defend the town? Is something coming?
Right, sorry, I sort of jumped the gun. Yenny, did you want to report?
Yeah,
Or
sure.
Holly?
And they give a full report to Lydia, who looks increasingly worried as time goes on. And she goes, all right, we need to move everybody to the main house. We need to try and get some barricades up. It sounds like they're going to roll right through the town. If we don't do that, we're not going to survive in the mist, though.
Victor, maybe you and I can train some of the townfolk on how to use a crossbow
Why not a dagger?
and a dagger.
You teach them the
Not
crossbow.
everybody's daggers return to them upon...
They'll get
calling.
theirs eventually.
No.
It's...
There's not enough time to make them all,
All right.
members of the Ving.
Do they have any? Do you have any additional
Which one
things
would
we
they
can
join?
use to create not just barricades, but perhaps
Traps.
like offensive?
Runes
Traps.
or cables or
Spike pits.
holes, spike pits, yes.
We don't have any sort of like magic in the town. There used to be a wizard here, but he moved out long ago. We could probably make some route of entry barricades and pits, and given enough time.
Well, I can help with the pits. I've got a couple with me.
Yeah, whatever you guys can do. No, I mean I don't mean to.
Literally, I have patches that I
I
can.
was like, you have a couple with you.
I'm,
A
yeah.
couple of pits.
Iron pits.
All right.
1, 2.
That's where the patches are.
That's where all the smell has been coming.
I don't mean to shirk my
See.
duties as captain. I'm happy to provide what aid I can, but it sounds like you guys maybe know siege warfare a little bit better than I do.
I mean, I don't want to brag, but we
Well.
did kill a god eater. I mean,
We survived
okay, I'm bragging
Ralph,
for
but
sure. I'm not.
Yeah, that's very much bragging. Yeah.
we tried to
You
kill
said
the
you were
Baba
here on a
Yaga.
different errand. What brings you out to Pridefall?
I'll defer to Bolt on that.
Well, I'm actually looking for a couple items.
Like
Yeah.
corn,
No,
pumpkins.
they would be
Always.
magical in nature. A while back, well, I guess Callie didn't really say how long, so I'm gonna guess 50 or 60 years ago.
Okay.
Sorry, 50 or 60 years ago.
All right.
There may have been a construct that arrived, a healer,
Yeah.
and they possibly were searching for something and also had something along with them, and they looked kind of like this. And I'll open up my chest plate, and she can see the
Yeah.
The
And she definitely
2 out of
reacts
4
to it.
pieces.
And she says, "That's very interesting.
Well, if you have seen them,
Seen him. I own one.
Whoa,
Oh,
that's convenient.
My it was my grandfather's,
or what was his name?
Marcus. Yeah, he gave me. He passed down a necklace to the family, and he passed down this, and she waves to the hand axe at her side.
Is it one of the hand axes from my?
It does look like
vision?
one of the silvered hand axes from your vision, yes. And as far as constructs go, we did.
Do I
have-
remember what that guy sharpening them kind of looked like?
Yeah, he kind of had like similar kind of ruddy hair. He had a beard on a very like weathered face to him, that sort of thing.
Was your grandfather a bearded fellow and kind of a weathered face, about the same kind of hairdo?
I mean, I don't like to be compared to my father's or my grandfather's hair, but yes, in essence, it has.
He has a very
Cole doesn't react at all. Just
Yeah, he came to the village about, I don't know, 80 years ago and started just living here, just relaxing and enjoying his life. He was a hunter, just like he trained my mother and myself to be. And
well, that item is one of 4, and they actually contain my memories.
really, well, you help us defend the town, and it's all yours.
Can you help me search for the other one that might be?
You
somewhere?
said it was a construct.
Yes, and all I know about this construct
You'll want
was
to go to the blacksmith.
okay. that would probably be a good place to stop anyway.
See what he's got prepared. Yeah.
Now, what do you all think? Any reason why we might want to consider taking the fight to them, or should we try to hold up here?
If we're here, we can concentrate where they come from, put caltrops down,
Follow
Do
them
other
into an
things.
area.
make pits.
I think we have a good spot here.
All right.
Because
I just worry about
Now-
the safety of the villages.
What
Does
if-
this sound familiar? The two of you ended up fighting undead.
The
in
last
town.
time it was very different. A rift portal opened kind of in the middle of the air, and while yes, several undead were streaming out, it wasn't a battalion's worth, and there was no fog or mist.
Did they cease operations when you killed the main person, or like, because if we can kill one person to get rid of many, maybe taking the fight to them. But if not, it's
They had fallen out of a void rift, and then it closed back up. So we just defeated
what
the
came
undead
through?
that we found.
I was just about to use my dragon mark to try and close it, but then it just closed it. Right.
Holly does pipe in and say, also, if you kill a necromancer, it doesn't really disable the undead. It more just turns them feral.
So they might attack each other, but they'll still probably
No, they
continue
don't
trying to
see.
attack
They'll
us.
just attack anything living.
Which we have some experience with undead because we found that orc witch. Was it orc witch?
Yeah.
In the forest.
The rift with the person on the other side.
Yep.
The wizard.
worst case scenario. Do you have any livestock or pets or things we can let loose and they can chase a little bit of those to distract a little, or
I mean, if that's what you want to plan, we can round up the livestock.
Sounds like an economic disaster after.
Well, if the undead are being controlled, they'll usually just most likely ignore the livestock and come directly for
That's
the
fair.
people.
perhaps we keep that plan in reserve if we kill the necromancer. Just enough to distract so we can kill them all.
Excuse me.
You can go ahead.
I was trying to do it under the table so it would be quiet.
Pouring chips. I don't know why it just struck me as so funny. These are good.
So what is the plan?
So they're going to get everyone
I'll
in.
leave the strategizing to you. I'm more of a soldier, not so much a general.
Bolt?
I think we should get everyone holed up in a building if there's one large enough, if not a couple, and then set up some barricades around.
Is there a church? Maybe it has hallowed ground.
Yeah, possibly with some people on, some people with bows, crossbows on the roof.
No church, but we have a meeting hall.
Is it
No church?
fairly defensible?
Any building
fairly
can be
defensive.
turned into a house of worship.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a skilled enough cleric, I
Yeah.
suppose.
Like the
How many
ceremony
entrances
spell?
are there?
It would be the hollow spell that you'd be looking for.
Is it just the big doors in the front?
Isn't
is
there
the
that one that
primary
makes like
entrance?
60 feet of
There's
area?
a
like
couple
hollow
side
ground?
entrances, but we can barricade
Hollow.
those up pretty easy.
Perhaps you focus on barricading
Yeah.
those.
You don't
I
have
will
ceremony.
I will put a pit in front
Oh, I
of
do
it.
have ceremony.
And we can
You
put
can
some
manage.
stakes.
How many pits do you have?
I have one. I gave the other to Hug.
Keeping in mind.
Oh,
think
it's
you can
sleep
be-
in.
Actually,
Participate in the ceremony. Use ceremony
Oh,
spell.
that's so
read
cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you'd have to get somebody else to do
Great.
the ceremony
Oops,
spell in
sweating.
that case.
But at least we can put that in front
There
of
are
the main
people
stage.
dying, and you're
AC.
trying to plan your
While
wedding.
they were within 30.
There's
You died.
zombies coming,
That's
and you
awesome.
want to pick flowers and talk about
I
your
do have to
colors.
agree with that. The orc
Ridiculous.
here, he's pretty practical.
All I'm
about
saying
this.
is it could boost our AC by 2. Might need it.
And our life fulfillment by infinity.
And
Wait,
mine by
Is it
negative
hallowed?
infinity.
Does it make it hallowed ground?
I'm gonna go get any able-bodied person that I can find to help dig.
I'll
these
come
ditches.
with you.
Well,
Thank you.
have them.
For the record, Ezra, we want you to be our flower girl.
No.
Kick
Ask
the skill breaker
literally.
as you pass by again.
Not kick skill breaker again.
Do we know?
Finds a table, tosses it.
Do we know if from any direction they're coming from? Did any figure that out?
They gave you a specific direction, but it sounded like they were going to they had battalions, so they could very easily surround the town. To give you an idea of what Pridefall looks like, it's got 3 different kind of inroads to the main square, which is when we get to the battle map, this will be the main square, which leads up to the meeting house, and then they kind of have this larger cliff hillock that they've built to the town up against. So there's only 3 directions that they can come from.
Is there like any choke points where they would have to enter?
The roads themselves are choke
How
points.
wide are they? Because I've got a pit. If one of them is a choke point, and we know that we can see they're coming from one way, I can put that pit down. We can cover it and then have them fall into it.
You're looking about 25 feet across for those
Okay,
roadways.
so it's only 10 foot by.
You could put it in the center.
Well, we could put a couple. We could focus
10 by
on
10.
one road could be dug pits, and another could be like barricades, wagons, hay
Right.
bales, whatever, to try to like maybe
Block
funnel them
the
down
road,
or
yeah.
even block it off.
All I ask is that you funnel them into a 40 by 40 area.
Oh yeah, I'm gone. I'm not over here.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
No,
So
listen
we
to
do know
this
which
plan.
direction they're coming from?
All directions,
All
except
directions.
for one.
Yep. It seems likely that they're going to surround the town.
Then I'll reserve that. Wherever
yeah,
we can choke them.
I'll work with the new mayor and try to Lydia, right?
Yes.
And try to like one can be pits, another one can be we can pile up carts and barricades and barrels and crates and whatever we can that's heavy and
Okay.
you
So
know,
let's see. You've got
and try to
directions
funnel
here.
them like one way if possible.
You've got the northwest, the southwest, and the southeast roads. Which would you like to?
Does anyone have
Northwest,
hempen rope
southeast.
more than I do?
I mean, there's a general goods store that you could probably
Southwest,
grab
right?
supplies.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to take my. I have a oil flask.
Okay.
Would it be enough to soak the rope in, and then try and hide the rope in the event that they walk across it? Pull it up, ignite it, and see if we can get burn more than one person. Would that be an?
It probably would take more than one oil flask. It probably would take like 3
Does
or 4.
anyone have oil?
No.
Grease the pits and burn
Only
them
in
all,
me.
or that's fair. You could, if you only had a butt, you could give me oil.
If I only had a butt.
The blacksmith might have some help.
I'm gonna check with
Yeah.
the
So while I'm like, let's go scout the town,
Mhm.
see what's available.
Yeah.
I also want to stop by the blacksmith and
I'll go with you. So me
Visit
go
them.
going over there.
So scouting the town, it's really easy to see that there are like your best option probably is to funnel them through to the main square as the defensible position. That might be a bad idea though. I don't know strategy. But there are the 3 inroads. It's very difficult to kind of maneuver around the town. Otherwise, there's some alleyways and that sort of thing, but they're easily blocked by crates and barrels and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it's not going
yeah.
to be...
So we'll make it so we can. In fact, we could take 2 of the roads and block them off with everything we can find, overturned wagons, things like that, and then on the main
Try and
road we
get
can
them.
do like pits and
Yeah, like
traps.
pits,
Okay.
and maybe oil in the pits, so that way
Yeah.
we can ignite it. And burn
We're building
whatever falls
barricades.
inside.
Do you hear the people sing
Sing the song of angry men.
there are plenty
It's
of able
wonderful.
hands here to help you with that
People
part.
who
There's probably about
Unpopular opinion.
saved again.
Worst show ever.
Come on.
Anyways,
worst musical or worst movie.
both. And worst book.
Okay. It is not a good book.
Whiny prostitutes with their whiny decision making.
Oh, man.
Shot fired.
You stole bread. What'd you think?
Yeah.
And you suck. You follow the government blindly. They all suck. Everybody sucks. Okay.
Rant over. Follow Mr. Rogers' movie reviews for more.
There you go.
That's going to be a short of you just being like, I'm going to review this movie. It sucks.
Wow. Could that be your next review?
No, because I just gave it to you.
Oh.
There's no more to say.
I'll send it to you as a short.
Okay.
I'm going to go unsubscribe from your channel.
I don't even think you subscribed. So
I'm going to subscribe and then I'm going to unsubscribe.
perfect.
Okay. So you go to the blacksmith.
Yes.
I go with them.
Yeah, Victor comes with you. You can hear him kind of like hammering away in there.
Clang.
He stops as you approach, and he just kind of like clatters the hammer
What do they look like?
onto the anvil. Kind of your standard burly man, darker skin.
Ah, Clan Burlyman.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
John Burleman. That's
Yeah.
his name.
Wrong promise.
And he goes, "It's you. You're Bolt, right?"
Yes. Do you know me?
No, not personally, but I was expecting a construct. He's waiting for you out back.
Who is waiting for me?
Cal.
Okay.
What else can I help you with?
You
Well,
want, you
Victor,
want privacy?
if you want to talk to him, that's fine. I'll
I
go
will
talk to the
keep him
construct.
occupied.
He did say it was construct out back.
Yes. So as Victor like tells him what's needed, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I've got a couple barrels of oil that we can
Perfect.
put into the pits."
Any
that sort of
calipers?
thing. No, I mean I can bend some nails. Perfect. Shouldn't be too
As
hard.
many as we can get.
It's like those nail puzzles that's got the twist in it, but
Yeah.
he just takes them and just turns them so they're.
I have some experience. I can help you with creating more
Everything is just Mr.
if
Rogers.
you have extra tools.
You are so petty.
Yeah, let's do that on our own time. So Bolt, you head around back.
Yes.
And you see that there is kind of this small fountain that's been set up. It's just, it looks more like a bird bath. There are a couple birds currently using it, that sort of thing. And sitting in front of it is this old, rusted-looking hunk of metal that at first you just think is some weird sculpture that the blacksmith made. But you quickly realize that it is kind of a squat construct. They're about 3 feet tall. They've got kind of a rectangular, blocky head. It's sort of, well, it's rectangular from the side, but it's like almost like a cylinder, almost like a can, a tuna can, that sort of thing. And they are just like half covered in rust. As you come around, you see that they're just kind of sitting there, and they have one eye that is dark right now, and the other eye is completely gone, missing, and it's kind of like their head is almost like caved in that portion. They look very much like they've been through the ringer.
I'll walk up to it. Hello?
And as you say hello, there's kind of a flicker, and it's almost like a film camera starting up as the eye starts up, and then there's kind of a staticky hiss as the head turns to you, and he goes, "Bolt, it's you. I
Yes.
knew you would come eventually."
Can I help you? You seem damaged.
I appreciate the offer, but the damage is beyond repair.
I'm sorry.
You found it.
2 levels of petty.
I will not be able to survive much longer. I've been conserving power to meet.
While he's talking, I kind of want to look him over. Is
Yeah.
there anything I can do to help him?
Give me a Tinker's check with your Tinker's tools. So intelligence plus your proficiency.
That's a natural 20 plus 7.
Yeah, you kind of look him over and you realize that there's not like half of the parts that typically make up a Warforged are missing. He very much is holding on by what little energy he has left. It's not a I can heal you and fix you. It's more of like an old age plus a lot of damage kind of thing. You didn't really think that Warforged could die of old age, but it basically everything's too extensive to really fix.
I don't think I would be able to fix you. I'm sorry.
I expected as much. I am a doctor after all. I know a lost cause when I see one.
You're a healer.
Yes.
Were you in Archdom 60 to 80 years ago?
Yes. That is where my journey began. I suppose you're wondering either how I came to be here or how I came to be this.
Yes.
Well, the stories are one and the same. I was a member of a crew. You might be familiar. You might not be. The ship's name was the Inquisitive Resolve. And we were 5 crew members, captained by a Warforged, very much like yourself, Bolt. We had a helmsman, we had an engineer, a scout/recovery party. That would be Marcus. I do miss him. And then
Lydia's grandfather.
correct.
And the engineer, I'm probably going to assume, was Callie.
That is correct. You have met her?
I have met Callie.
Good. I am glad. I'm assuming that you have a few pieces of your core.
Yeah, and it'll open up.
It is good to see. 2. I would assume Marcus and Callie.
Helm and Callie.
You found Helm.
I did.
I worried for him once I got my memory back.
He's out adventuring right now, or looking for something. He said.
He's looking for your ship.
Oh, right.
Specifically.
Yeah. He's looking for
In the swamp.
the Inquisitive Resolve. You said.
Yes.
What was Cal's position on the crew?
Cal is the healer. He's the doctor.
Oh yeah, you said that.
Yep.
Typical 5-man raid. You know.
Yeah.
Tank.
5-man dungeon. Yep.
Healer.
Inspiring leader. We were tasked to research an anomaly that in the astral sea, somewhere where we couldn't scry or no teleportation magic could get through, and we discovered this place.
Rather forcefully, if my memory or my pieces that I've recovered.
I remember.
You remember all of it.
Yeah, pieces. More than probably most, and that is because of this. And he leans back and he'll pop the little hatch, and you'll see that half of his what would essentially be like a Warforged heart, is gone, and it's been replaced with a fragment of your soul core. And he goes, "This is where the memory came from. I didn't remember any until my incident, and I had to repair myself with the only thing available. And I received memories of our journey."
Do you know why it was my soul core was split up?
Yes, and he'll close the hatch and latch it again. It's just like a little tiny. When we fell into an area and the gap was sealed, I sensed that our minds would fade. And I did the only thing that I could. I locked your memories into your core and split it up so you could eventually recover it and give us a way home.
And that was the barrier.
Yes. When we arrived, we weren't the only ones interested. There was a marauder waiting for us, or waiting for something. They attacked. We defended, and we were successful in driving them off, but they left us with a parting gift. One of the meteorites that floated around the shield was pushed towards us, and our navigation was offline, so it crashed into us and sent us spiraling into the shield. And when it struck the shield, it shattered it and caused everything that happened after.
Are we there with them?
No, it is just bolted this time, yeah.
And that was, what was the name of the town?
Hasmond.
Hasmond. Yes. We were in the Broken Expanse, working for the Arcanum, and we came across the remnants of Hasmond.
Oh, sorry.
Buzzy.
Came out of nowhere.
Sprockets fly out.
Yeah.
And it's like a spring.
Gross.
So you have seen the destruction that we've caused.
And the asteroid. And I will mentally have the Ald come flowing out and kind of form into the original hunk of steel or Ald steel that it was. It won't be able to hold like forever, but it'll just kind of ripple.
Yeah.
And then I'll turn it into the shield and then back to
That
it goes on
is,
my arm.
that is the material. We were investigating it as well because it had unique properties that might benefit us.
We have been able to determine that it can take many forms, but only once. And once it's on that form, it cannot be permanently reshaped into something else.
And you should also know that it can break the barrier. That is the meteorite that struck the shield.
Do we still have a piece? No, we forged it into...
Used it all.
Yeah, you forged into the Scalebreaker.
That's right. Do you know who sent us on this mission?
Quinn did.
Oh, that's a
He's-
name. That's a name from before.
He is the creator of our people, and he is the protector, self-proclaimed, but protector nonetheless of the Astral Sea. He sent us out to investigate, and
You say creator
as in he made us. You,
Daddy/God.
you, me, Helm.
Dad God.
God.
Dad God's got a dad vibe.
Or Dad.
Is he a male seahorse?
Yes, his email seahorse.
A good question. One I did not expect you to answer so quickly. Or ask so quickly. No, anyway.
This is all good information. I wondered about this for most of my time here. I would say life, but it appears I had quite the life before.
Yes, your life was full of many adventures, many tragedies. But I'm sorry that I couldn't help you further.
I mean, this is more help than I've been able to get since I started my journey. The last 2 shards, all they gave me was a vision, and even that vision was barely comprehensible. Just fragments of it.
Only fully restored will you have your memories back.
Well, I would like that. But if it's keeping you alive, I do not want to. I do not want to take it.
It won't keep me alive forever. Not for much longer. And he opens it up and he reaches in and he goes, when you find my brothers, you let them know that I care for them.
I will.
And then he's gonna yank it out, and then the eye is just gonna flicker again and then go dark.
I'll gently take it and then kind of lay him down, just on his back type of thing.
Okay. Pop it in.
Pop it in.
Okay. Yeah, so your vision kind of swirls around. Suddenly you're on the deck of a ship, a far larger ship than you've been on before. You can see your ship kind of off in the distance getting ready for a trip, the Inquisitive Resolve. And there is a man standing next to you. He's kind of got a shock of where was it?
Purple, green, blue. Red.
Plum.
Yellow.
Vague hair. I need to look it up.
Vague.
Vague hair. The vision kind of
Vision
swirls
gets
a little bit.
fuzzy. at the
Dirtyish,
hairline.
darkish,
Yeah.
blondish, reddish.
Mhm. And
Oldish.
he's wearing kind of like a longer robe, or kind of actually it's more like a trench coat and just a normal jerkin and tunic underneath, that sort of thing. And one of his arms is it is kind of this swirl of lightning rather than an actual arm itself. And he kind of claps the other one, which is normal, on your shoulder, and he says, Bolt, are you ready to go?
It's a vision, so I can't. You want me to make
Is
this
it a
choice?
choose your own adventure vision?
What does Bolt say?
Ooh, it's
in
like
the
a
vision.
Telltale game.
Stormfather.
Just
Yeah, I was
three
about to
dialogue
say, it's the
options.
Stormfather.
Show up at the
Yeah.
bottom, you have to choose
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, what are my 3
Been a while.
dialogues?
Yes, no. I give me a
Stay
moment.
silent. Yeah, it's always stay silent, right? There's always a. Don't say anything.
Yes. I can see you're focusing on the mission. I get it.
No, I'll say. Do you really think this is a good idea? We don't know anything about what we discovered.
I mean, that's why we're out here, right? We're trying to make sure that anything that might be a problem gets taken care of, and if there's an anomaly out there, there's something we can't see, we need to go investigate it. But it'll be fine. Sorry I can't send more with you. We're kind of embroiled with that other issue right now.
And you'll be all right without us.
You worry too much. I know that you've saved me before, but I've saved you plenty of times too. We'll be all right. I will miss Callie, though. You're taking my best engineer from me.
Hey,
I mean, it's
she's been teaching me.
really good. I'd like to see what you learn when you get back.
Shouldn't take too long. It wasn't too far away, and we'll just do a quick scout and come on back with a report.
I'll send something out if I don't hear from you, but yeah, I'm sure I will. You're capable as a captain, and I have complete confidence in you.
I appreciate that.
And he kind of claps you on the shoulder again. He says, well, I've got some other duties to attend to, so I'll be back.
Take care of yourself while I'm gone.
You too.
Goodbye, son.
Then he'll walk away. And at that point, another figure will step up, this one a little bit gruffer. And Marcus will kind of cross his arms and he goes, remind me why you need me along again.
Well,
Staying silent, I get it.
don't put me on the spot.
No, so, yeah, you're fine. So yeah, Marcus is here as kind of your weapons. He's security, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna say, well, you're the best one with a hand axe.
That's true. We won't find anything better. Do you think there are werewolves where we're going?
Possibly,
You know how I feel about werewolves.
I do. Hence why I always hang around just in case a werewolf.
Is he looking for a mate? He is a werewolf.
Yes, he carries 2 silver hand axes and he's a werewolf.
You never know.
It's a perfect cover.
I think this might be my last mission.
You're planning on returning.
Yeah, I'm not getting any younger. Unlike Callie or Quinn, some of us do age. And I think it's about time that I actually settle down. I
Well,
think a lot about it.
if that's what you wanted, we'll miss you, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
But hey, we got one more mission. Just make sure I get back from it alive, okay?
Of course, we haven't failed before.
No. And that's when the vision fades, and you return back to just outside the blacksmith, the bird bath.
I'm just kind of like kneeling there. Just
Was Lightning Arm Dad?
You got the impression that was Quinn.
He
Yeah.
didn't give us a name. So.
yeah. Cory said it was Quinn,
Oh, I missed that then.
or maybe he didn't.
I
I don't think you did.
don't think I did, but
Okay,
Sure.
heavy implication.
that's what I assumed was it.
Yeah.
Right, that's why I asked.
Yep. You do remember another image of Quinn from your fragmented memories. One where he was tearing you apart, ripping you to pieces and cackling madly.
I have daddy issues.
Yeah.
Something quite
Don't
literally.
we all?
You do.
Who doesn't?
You do.
No,
You
me
do.
and my dad get
I
along
don't-
great. I got mom problems.
What about Nezra? Nezra's got daddy issues.
I do.
I have
Yes.
apex
Your
problems.
dad tried to kill your mom.
I mean, it's a pretty big problem.
That is
I'm the
pretty
rogue without.
This is
tragic
Tales of
backstory.
Aneria. This episode's Tales of Aneria. Daddy issues.
I love it.
Yeah, so what does Bolt do after that?
Just kind of sit there for a few minutes and get up and walk back into the blacksmith.
And
Talk
he's
to Mr. Burleman.
he's actually finishing up and putting the last nail in the bag of caltrops to
Now,
hand.
I'm glad that you see the sense in actually blacksmithing with the shirt on. I know another guy does it without the shirt on. Burns everywhere.
Well, when it gets hot out, having the shirt on, I mean, it is practical, but it can also it can be sweltering. In it,
How many burns do you have all over?
Oh, so many.
Oh.
That's kind of a standard.
You're asking him to take his shirt off?
Eve would love that kind of stuff. She eats it up.
Right. Did you find what you need?
I did. Did I ever get his name?
John Berlin.
No, not the blacksmith. The construct.
Probably not. If I didn't mention it, his name is Cal.
You did mention
Yeah,
it.
yeah, you
Said
did
it
say
already.
so.
You did say Cal. Yep.
Cal.
Yeah, I found Cal out back. He gave up the rest of his life force to return part of my memory.
Well, he always talked about that. I've been taking care of him the past few years, ever since I took over the blacksmith. Just talk to him every now and then, but he was getting older. He was getting weaker.
I have a little bit of experience with constructs, and there wasn't anything I could do to help him.
Well, he wanted me to let you know if he never found you that his body is yours to use as you need. He said that was something like a way that you guys had, or a ritual.
It might have been. He only gave me part of the memory back. I'm hoping that the other fragment from Lydia will give me the rest of it.
Lydia has one of those fragments?
Yeah.
He never told me.
Or her grandfather did, Marcus.
Oh, Marcus. He was a good man. So I hear.
Didn't like werewolves?
Yeah, he actually fought off a few of them in his day. He seemed to attract them for as much as he hated them. But yeah, he was always there front lines whenever any sort of goblin incursion came in, or not the Six Hills kind, the nasty kind.
Not the good goblins.
Not the good goblins.
Bad goblins.
Yeah, the bad. The ones that live in tribes in Bleakwood and ravage the countryside
Yeah, yeah.
kind of goblins. Yeah, those ones.
Victor, did you get everything you needed?
Yes, we got some caltrops. How many?
We'll say you got 2 bags of caltrops.
2 bags.
Yep.
And how much?
And you have
oil?
a barrel of oil.
You
And I have stats here for what a flask of oil would burn, because it says it burns for 2 rounds, 5 fire damage to any creature that enters the area.
So what's the plan with it? Are you filling up
Now-
pits with it, or?
Now, this is where the plan comes into play, right? So, do you have any flint?
Yeah, I can find some flint for you.
Perfect. Perfect. You will see the dance soon enough.
Is the dance just fire? It just sounds like it's fire.
It will be lots of fire.
Okay, all right.
I'm gonna essentially what I want to try and do is I want to take the pit, put the pit in, dump a bunch of oil in it, right?
Oh, thank you.
I have that hunting trap that we had earlier,
Mhm.
and I want to take the flint. So when something falls in, I want it to automatically just light the whatever
Okay.
falls inside on
All
fire.
right. And that's a
Maybe you want to
the-
get an engineer to help you make sure that goes off like you think it's
I was
supposed
just gonna bolt do it all, but
to. Right, that's what I was saying.
yeah. So you can.
It's like
how
a thinly
big is
veiled
the pit?
insult almost. Not an engineer. I was gonna have both.
It's not even.
So you're gonna fill up the pit with oil, put the trap in with the flint,
yeah. So that way,
create a
and
spark.
put it in like again, wherever we have like a choke point of some kind, to see if they can fill that with the bodies of the dead or whatever, and then
I wouldn't put. Let's not put all the oil in your pit. Let's dig a trench of oil, and kind of cover that up with some canvas or something, so that it can light on one side. And
sounds perfect.
keep it a little wall of fire.
What if it lights from the pit and then comes out and it's all cinematic and stuff?
What is it with you in this pit?
He wants to use his patches.
We can still use the pit. I say we fill it with spikes.
You can fill it with spikes.
Okay.
Undead hates spikes.
So here's what we're going to do.
I also want to get as many ball bearings
If
as possible.
I figured
Like marbles.
Yeah.
Well,
so.
well, you can get ball bearings that you can use to create difficult terrain.
The reason I figured for the pit is
You create some of
because
them with
if
strings.
they fall in, then they're stuck there and they're doing damage. But if they just fall in on spikes, then they can still climb out.
I mean, it can still be a pretty big trench. Like we're gonna dig,
All right.
but either way.
Yeah, whichever.
Okay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to let the party set up a battle map of sorts, and then we will get
We're
started.
gonna move this building from here to here.
So
We're gonna
we'll
terraform.
Yeah, we'll be right back with the conclusion of that.
Getting
All right, so let me go ahead and show the battle map off here, and we can kind of explain what you guys have going on. The purple right here, Scott, if you want to point to that, is your trench that you have made. You've got enough oil in there that when you ignite it, it will burn for 4 rounds, and any creature that steps through it will take 5 fire damage. You have Bolt's Web set up right behind that, so that basically that's going to be difficult terrain or they'll get trapped in it, as well as Victor's Knives. Beyond that, you've got the tarp over the pit trap, which has more oil in it, enough for 2 rounds.
Yep.
And then you've got on either side, you've got your barricades to block the other 2 ways coming through. And then, of course, you've got the cordon of arrows that Victor has cast right before here. So it took about a day to get everything prepared. Everybody's kind of been working through the night over time. You've also got a few allies in Holly, who's going to be played by Colby tonight.
I get to play a monk.
Lydia, who is played by Ezra, or Dallin, I suppose. Either way. People know you by both, I guess. And then Yinny is going to be played by Preston. And then there are also 5 guards, just standard guards, kind of hanging around. You can see on top of the buildings there and everything. So, but what happens first is you don't hear the marching of an army, although you can, like when you turn on your divine sense, like as you kind of scout around the outside of town, you do sense that there are plenty of undead moving around out there.
just undead, or do I detect any fiends as well?
There are no fiends. You can detect just undead.
Undead and one celestial.
Yeah, undead. Oh no, there is one fiend. Sorry, there is one fiend moving around.
Good to know.
The pit boss.
And you so
Light him on fire.
the figure that approaches isn't a battalion coming down the main road. Instead, it's one skeletal rider. He's kind of wearing blue and rusted armor. He looks a little bit more put together than your typical skeleton. And he rides up and he pulls off the helmet and he goes, "People of Pridefall Hamlet, surrender yourselves to death, and you shall serve our master in eternity."
That sounds terrible.
No, thank you.
We
Are there any health
refuse.
benefits?
That's true.
You'll never die, you don't have to eat, you don't have to sleep.
That sounds pretty.
I already got that covered. No, thank you.
What about pooping?
You resist the inevitable then?
If that's what you're calling it, yes.
Very well. The master will have your heads. And he puts his helmet back on and he turns and he'll walk away.
Eldritch Blast. Can I shoot him?
Yeah,
Eldritch
absolutely.
Never kill the messenger.
Yep.
That's
I'm not honorable
20 to
shoot
hit,
a
dirty
man in
20.
the back.
Always shoot
20
all the
will
other
hit.
Send your master our regards.
Old ladies are okay. Other people
Especially
That's 13 damage.
Okay. Yeah, he'll kind of get smashed in the back.
Oh wait,
with
there's
that.
2. Sorry, I forgot. Eldritch Blast. I'm supposed to fire 2 beams. I just rolled 2 beams worth of damage.
Just roll the other attack and we'll see if it hits.
The second one was a 25.
Yeah.
So, 13 damage.
13 damage. Okay. So it definitely slams into him, and then he kind of like shrugs his shoulders a little bit and continues his march onward.
Hurry on back.
Just soften you up for the future.
I'll remember that. So he leaps, and you hear the telltale signs of marching, standard units marching around. The fog starts to like peel back a little bit, and you can see the inklings of the army. There's a good, I think there's 25 different zombies out there. There's probably about 18 or so skeletons, all kind of setting up in various areas. It looks like they're splitting into 3 separate groups, 2 to come around the sides that you've blocked off, but they don't know that you kind of blocked that off yet. And then you see a little thing far back, probably about, we'll say about 300 yards. That's a standard range for a catapult, I suppose. But they've set up this catapult, and it looks to be made out of bone. In fact, like it has a kind of a bone hand where the catapult itself should be. And you see that a couple skeletons manning it. One of them appears to be loading in this jar, and they will fire it.
Fun.
And it is going to land in the center of town. It isn't going to like crash into a building or anything. It's just going to land in the center. And as it hits, a ear-piercing wail emanates from the entire area.
Shazoo!
Thank you. I need everyone to make me a Constitution saving throw, please. Same with your other characters.
If you're within 10 feet of me, you get +5.
Whew, that's a 34. I got a natural 20. For me, Holly got a, let's see.
Is she looking? Where is Holly? Where she is?
I'm going to roll for the guards here.
Nope.
He's right here.
Not within 10 feet.
Okay, so that's just
What's her name? Lydia gets +5.
Okay.
Because he's right next to him.
Perfect.
Darian has to roll as well.
Scott, pick 2 guards for me.
Just 2 random.
Yep. Two, whichever 2 guards you want.
We hadn't placed them.
You hadn't placed the ones with the swords.
Mm-mm.
Place those down. Because you've got 2 crossbowmen up there. Where's the other crossbowman?
There's one there, one there.
Okay.
This guy?
Yeah.
He'll be just back here.
Okay. And then pick 2, please.
Those 2.
Those 2? Okay. So did anybody get below a 13? Either
I got exactly a 13.
13
Yini got
is the
11.
save. Yini got 11. And Lydia's good.
Yep, she got it.
Okay. So anybody who got below a 13 drops to 0 hit points, which includes the 3 guards that you did not select. So the 2 crossbowmen's drop.
2?
Yep. And
So it like splashed the whole
yeah,
thing?
basically this huge Banshee's wail goes out, and anybody who did not make their save drops to 0, and that includes Yini.
Yikes.
Bye, Yini.
Glad I made the save.
This guy
Been
is
a rough way to
dead,
start a
dead.
fight.
Should I remove him from the fight?
The guards, you can put them down.
These guys fall.
Those guys fall, so they'll take
Unless
extra
they were-
damage. So
unless
they'll basically take a death saving throw. You
It's
can
like-
try and fix them up if you want to.
It's like 20 feet from a. If it's 5 or 10 feet
This
to
one's down
20 feet.
here.
Oh, like 25 or
25.
30 in the apex.
Yeah, and this guy is here-ish.
Cool.
Okay.
They're just bait.
Sorry, random NPC. You are food.
Okay, let's go ahead and roll initiative, please.
Oh, wait.
Do I need to roll for Yini?
Was there any,
Yes, you will want
was
to
there
roll.
any like there wasn't anything half damage or anything?
Nope. That's just a Banshee's wail. It is literally just save or die. It's kind of insane. All right, so Bolt. Yep.
20.
20. Victor.
Hold on, I rolled Yini's. You want Yini's first?
Not right now. No,
Okay.
you'll have to remember that.
That is a 8.
8. Okay. Eve.
3.
3. Seredan.
18.
18. Ezra.
26.
26. And then let us go ahead and quick to
That's 6 rounds. No. 60 rounds.
And plugging your ears stop a banshee's wail.
I'd probably give you advantage on it.
What if you can't hear it?
Are you
deaf?
deaf? If you're deaf. Yeah.
Yini was actually deaf.
Uh-huh. Alright, what is Holly's
So
initiative?
Yinny's down, right?
It was a
She's
17.
unconscious.
17.
Did you?
What about
Not
you?
unconscious?
Yinny's initiative.
12.
12. Okay.
It's an HP plus 4.
By the way, is this sound effect okay? It's just called Ghoul Attack. Anybody not want to listen to ghoul groans for this?
It's fine.
Oh, by the way.
Good. Okay. What did Lydia
like
get?
they
7.
are like dry heaving.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
We
It
should
all
make
depends.
our own
Sound
Like,
effects.
soundtrack. Yeah,
Okay,
be good.
let's do it.
Dun, dun,
This one's called.
Yeah, that's Shaun of the Dead.
Oh, they fixed that. Did they? Okay. All right. So at this point, what's going to happen is
The second one will come and
Yeah.
make a saving.
And we all die.
no. First up is Ezra. Ezra, they are about. I would say they're about 100 feet out at this point. 3 battalions. There's one in each direction. We'll put them on the map as soon as they get here. Each has about
100 feet. Looks like it.
How close was Yinning to me? Was she close?
She was not
Was she
within
within 10
10.
feet? Okay. Just curious.
Let me just.
This is 60 feet. Are they 100 feet out from the center of town?
Yeah, 100 feet out.
So they're
from-
just barely off the edge of the map.
Yeah, just barely off the edge.
Okay.
So each battalion has about 8 zombies in it, kind of shambling at the front. There's 5 skeletons, and then you notice some kind of like larger hulking figures that look like they probably are undead amalgams that have been created, and they
Okay.
look like they're carrying large battering rams. And then there's also some skeletal riders. There are just some like one of the more built undead that you shot at earlier, which I didn't write down. There's some ghouls with each of them, and each side has a priestess that is kind of standing there, and she's kind of casting dark magic, and you can see that she's talking, or like she's leading the amalgam and whatever they're carrying in their arms.
Okay. I will yell that out to everybody. And then with sharpshooter, I can shoot 600 feet.
Nice.
So I should be able to start picking off before they get in here. So I'm not going to have advantage because it's so
Ezra.
far away.
Could you attack the catapulter?
I'm going to attack the priestess who's leading the
Okay.
amalgams.
On left or right?
Let's just go left.
Left. Okay.
So that is really bad. That's only a 10.
10 will miss.
Shoot again. That is going to be a 22.
Okay. So the first one kind of flies overhead, and the second one flies true. How much damage?
It's going to be
25.
20.
20 damage. Okay.
25.
Yeah, definitely slams into her side, and she lets out a hissing
Did
curse.
you take any of the peppermints or any of that kind of stuff?
Okay. Next up is we'll go ahead and move the division on the left. We'll just do that one next here. So let me grab my big box of baddies, and then quick star wipe. All right, welcome back. So a little bit abstract here. Everything is still within certain tolerances. The catapult.
100 feet away.
The catapult here is 300 feet away
Okay.
from everything. You can see there's 3 skeletons manning it, and the one that kind of looks like the leader of the group there.
Scott, does this roof go off?
That roof does come off.
Is there any chance just because I can't see?
Yeah, in fact, they all come if we.
Just as a. I can at least see where people are standing.
The group on my left, that group right there, they are going to move forward up to. I said they were 100 feet away before.
Mm-hmm.
The zombies are going to double move, so they're not going to do anything else. So they get up to 60 feet away.
Okay.
The skeletons are going to move 30 feet, and the 5 of them are going to take attacks on each of you, an attack roll on each of you.
Are they like shooting?
Yeah, with short bows. Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll go ahead.
Can they see over the barricades? Or would it be like half?
You guys will have total cover, so you'll have +5.
Or 3/4?
Or
Total cover.
Yeah.
doesn't mean they come in.
yeah, sorry, 3/4 cover.
Okay.
So that's a 10 on Eve,
Miss.
a 15 to Seredan,
I thought you said yes. I was like, 10 hits you?
a 20 to Victor.
Did you put your?
Plus
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 in the
5 though. You have a +5.
Oh, I
put your,
It does
your
not
fancy
hit
dress
me.
back on?
Yes. My baptism.
Change the AC.
We're
A
back.
9 to Ezra,
Oh, sorry, what? A 9?
Nine.
That misses.
Let me write that down.
and a natural 1 on bolt. So that's a miss. All right, so the skeleton just let loose a volley. The rider is not going to do anything. The bone amalgam is going to move up 40 feet, and then it is going to place the thing that it has in its hands on the ground. And as it does, you see that it's this obelisk that just starts spewing blood. And the ground around it, within 60 feet of it, just starts to desecrate
Right
before
there.
your eyes. So that will have specific effects on.
Victor, it's the bloody fountain again.
Hey, that was my
Do you
idea
want to pass it
first.
around real quick?
That's gross.
This
Why would you do
copyright
the blood?
infringement.
That's cool.
The blood is dried.
It's called Blood from the Blood God. It's a specific paint made just for
blood.
bloody stuff.
Bloody. Blood.
Looks like
Funny. Blood.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I love the way it looks.
Nice work.
Like it.
Alright.
I'll give you style points.
Okay, the ghouls are not going to do
Girls.
anything
Ghouls.
here.
Say ghouls in Victor's voice.
Ghouls, ghouls,
Ghouls.
ghouls.
Sorry, give me just a moment.
Ghouls and goblins.
I feel like there's a rap hidden somewhere on this song.
You're gonna die. Even though you're high. Think you're so fly. But you're dead. It's like a haiku, but not.
It's like a, yeah. I call this haiku death.
And then the priestess, can she? She's within 125 or 150 feet of you.
So that's 60.
Does this represent where they're actually located currently?
Right
They
up the
are. Yeah, well, go ahead and say that they're right up at the barricade now. Yeah, so she's going to reach out, and you'll see like this dark circle form underneath all of you. So each creature in a 60-foot radius sphere, centered on a point that you can see within 150 feet.
Ezra cast
Needs to make-
Am
counterspell.
I safe up here? Am I a part of that?
Yeah, once you've done this, yep, I guess.
160-foot sphere.
I mean, technically, up to you. So this is 60 feet.
We'll go ahead and say Ezra's outside of it, just for
You say 160 foot sphere or just 60?
60-foot sphere.
Okay.
Make me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Okay.
A Yinny is just going to take a death save from
I
this.
told the babies not to kill me, and I got a natural 1.
Babies.
I got a natural 20. +9 +5. 34.
26.
34, 26. 9.
And so I'm within range for the +5, right?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Unless you would have moved up while they were on their way in
So
after the banshee scream.
I mean, I'd be where Yini was at, making sure she's okay.
That would have been.
Conscious.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's right. I got a roll for
Holly.
Oh.
That's only a 12 for me.
it. Holly's a 10.
The guards are.
Hold on, let
they
me-
actually. Let me roll for them
Have
too.
advantage on something, but I can't see what it is on the
Darian.
One succeeds, one fails. So one of the guards is gone. He just gets his soul just gets sucked from his body. Everybody who failed,
17 for Darian.
18 for Lydia.
Hold on, I've got.
Darian
I've got
is
plus
good,
one
so he'll take
save,
half damage.
it's
You know what? He'll take
plus
no
one
damage.
Okay.
Darian, we'll make him same with Ixburn for this combat because there's a lot going on. They'll be immune from half damage, like on AoE spells. So anybody who did not make a 15 saving throw takes 31 necrotic damage.
Okay, that's a spell, right? Because
That
if you're within
is
10 feet of me, you have resistance to spell damage.
Yes, that is a spell. Yep,
Do you take half?
half.
No
Yeah,
fail.
half on a fail. Yep. So
Or
Now
on
it's
a success.
Constitution.
Constitution.
So I take 0.
okay,
That's a saving throw.
So how much is half of that?
15.
So 15.
But
15 half of half.
if I
So
made my
is-
saves.
Yeah, if
that's
you made your
7.
save and you're
not
within
within
10
10
feet.
of her, though.
Lydia is.
Yeah, Lydia.
Oh, Lydia.
too.
Oh, sorry. I thought you for you.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Holly, on the other hand, is almost unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
Take Yenny and get back in the house. Or the meeting hall.
Okay, and then
I can fight.
it is Bolt's turn. Shouts the healer.
That's right.
Is anyone up
Mercy
here?
Monks can dish
Not
out some
yet.
damage.
They're not in
No,
town
that
yet?
was the one that moved forward first.
I'm gonna see the defiling ground coming out, and I'm gonna just try to blast the little
Is Yenny
obelisk thing
unconscious?
with
Okay.
a firebolt.
She was knocked out by the. ranger.
Go ahead and roll your
Oh.
attack roll.
First.
It is behind
And so
3/4
she's lost-
cover, so
she's
we'll
already
have
going
plus
to
5 to AC.
fail
If I get
from the damage.
big, can I see over them?
Yes, but you will
Okay.
also be reduced on cover. Well,
That's fine. I'll step back and go big,
okay.
and then I'll try to firebolt the obelisk.
Okay, go ahead and roll your attack.
Do I get advantage because it's a stationary object? or not?
Yeah, technically you do get advantage on it.
19 plus 7, 26.
26 will hit, and I mean, technically it's an incapacitated
2d10.
object.
2d6.
2d10.
For firebolt? Is it
Oh.
2d10 at the
Yep. So
Sorry, I was looking at
yeah,
two
go ahead and roll damage.
2d10.
Because they're not really unconscious, so it wouldn't be an automatic crit. They're not helpless. Objects are weird.
10 damage.
10? Okay. Yeah, you definitely look like you scorched it a little bit, but it still looks like it's, it's got plenty of stone left, as it were.
Okay.
Anything else that you would like to do?
I am going to just move up right here.
Okay.
I get a little bit of AC because I got 2 people by me.
Seredan. Now, you said you cast your Song of the Unseen.
I was hoping to,
As the
like,
armies
as they were
marched.
approaching.
Yep.
That's okay.
Yep.
Um,
You also did your Honed Edge, Victor, and you cast Web before the combat started. So make sure you mark that off on your spells.
Already did.
Oh, right. I have not. Okay. Can I see this general area at all?
It has 3/4 cover against you.
Okay. Then Sarah's gonna be like, watch this. And she's gonna pull out her potion of maximum power,
Okay.
chug it with my bonus action.
All right.
So that's deleted. And then you guys are gonna hear like the swelling of music. It's gonna sound like drums. And she's gonna look over in this area and be like, do you hear the people? Yes! And she's gonna cast Fireball.
Yay!
Fireball.
It's more like, do you hear the people singe?
Yes.
You hear
So
that
40-foot area
Okay.
should hit everybody.
Uh-huh.
And potion of maximum power.
Would you like to see for sure?
Potion of maximum. Well, it's just it's an 8x8.
Yeah, but we have the Fireball sphere.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Visuals.
Including the obelisk.
So it's maximum damage
Okay.
instead of rolling. And I'm going to add an epic die, if I can,
Go
for
ahead.
that damage.
Yeah.
So that's 54 damage
54 total damage.
each.
What does that have? Just so-
27.
Okay.
So the DC for the save is a 16, I think. What is my DC right now? Might not be that high, actually. I need to get my charisma.
It's a dex
16. Dex save of 16.
Okay.
Start rolling.
Which, if the pillar can't move, it fails its dex save automatically, right?
Yes.
Roll damage. You just went like
54. 54 damage?
54.
Colby!
Oh,
Also, fireball.
sad day. I love Kobe Bryant.
That was a dark joke.
Okay.
It's all the undead. It's getting mad.
All right, so here is the results as the fireball clears. All of the zombies are gone.
Sayonara, suckers.
All of the skeletons are gone.
Same to you.
Both the ghouls are gone.
Bye-bye, girls.
Goils.
The priestess is singed to a crisp.
She's like
Is
a
she dead?
mummified, like
Is she gone then?
She's gone.
she's like a cat.
So if you want to
that's
pass
all
those around,
shriveled up.
I painted all those too. They were pretty fun.
54. The obelisk is shattered, gone. The horse that the rider was on is also gone. Nice. And that is all that remains.
No, not even remains. All the remains are gone.
What are,
And we
what
all
are
go,
these guys
"Bing."
called?
The ghouls,
Those are ghouls, those are both gone.
They were
Mid
gone as
fight.
well. Yep.
Everybody
So
level up.
it's
All
just
right,
it's
here
just
we
the
go.
construct and the rider.
This ninja guy.
But he's a skilly.
That guy's
These
creepy.
poor little skeletons hardly wearing any clothes.
Those are gross.
Said nothing died.
Naked bones.
It's true.
Okay.
Here.
All right. Yeah. So the
The zombies don't have any paint on. You can just ignore those.
Perfect. Yeah. So they start kind of like marching up, and the swell of music just comes with a roaring fireball that slams down. And when it clears, there are only 2 left.
So you know how when a bomb drops, you hear this?
Sorry. It was amazing.
Yeah, but it's Sarah going.
Perfect.
Start whistling Andy Griffith.
I feel a little infused since renewing my deal with the choir. I love
I'll
it.
say.
Okay. Next up, if there's anything
That's
else
it.
that you'd like to do. Okay. Next
I'm
up
just
is
gonna
Holly.
Wait.
All that work for one fireball. Just
I'm glad they didn't use that on the boat. We would have all died.
including the bow.
Including the boat.
The greatest treasure would have been just a pile of rubble at that point.
Greatest
Cinder
fireball.
So what would Holly like to do?
Sorry. She is actually going to just run up to her friend and use a key point to heal her. Yeah. Actually, you know what? Well, never mind. I can't. It's only if I make an unarmed attack, which I am not in range of anything to do right now. So yeah. It's just a 1d6 plus 3, so she heals her for 9 hit points on Uni.
Okay.
And she says, "Get up, Uni. We're not done yet." And that's all.
Yeah. And Yiddy kind of takes a deep breath. Once again, coming back alive after being basically torched.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we will move on to the catapult is going to fire again. Everybody roll me a d20, please.
I need a roll for Lydia as well.
Nope, just the 5 of you.
Okay.
Who got above 15? Okay, this is gonna hit Victor. Basically, another jar comes crashing down.
One
It
time my
kind
fairy
of
rolls
opens
help
up.
me.
It's not a scream this time. It's just kind of like this wave of necrotic energy.
Dexterity.
Nope. So
Associated with
it is going to be an attack roll against you.
And an
and
attack I can see. Can I have the damage? Because I was going to use the uncanny dodge, or not uncanny dodge, but the other one for.
Roll me a perception check to see if you see the jar coming in.
Like the troll in Return of the King. You just like,
Yeah, and you spit on it.
Yeah, right.
And then it rolls on you.
Perception. That's only a 7.
7. You do not see this coming, and it is actually a crit against you.
Ooh.
So it is going to be a total of.
Unconscious.
I'm sorry, Darian. Cloud rune.
36 necrotic damage.
That's probably a good use of that.
And you're moving it to Darian?
I'm so sorry, Darian.
He's like frothing his mouth, ready to fight, and just.
Okay, yeah, he just poofs into.
I would have sent
Into
it
smoke.
to anyone else, but they have to be within 30 feet. And considering
Darian can be reasoned with.
I'm sorry, Darian, and I'm sorry, Eve. I feel so
What
bad.
about this guy?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just tired.
Need more caffeine.
No, because then I won't be able to sleep tonight.
This.
So, is he gone then?
He is gone.
36.
Yeah, there's no way that
HP.
he's surviving 36 HP.
He has,
has,
like 13
Yes.
hit points.
He's more. He's just
13
a mount.
hit points.
Yeah. All right, the battalion here is going to march forward. They were at the edge of the map. We'll say the zombies go first at. They double move 40 feet forward.
Okay. So, when they get here, we would have triggered the trap.
Okay. We have got those set up on triggers. Yeah, Ezra is hanging back, waiting for the cue.
So, where do you want them? You want them into the web? Like
So
they would
first,
probably caught fire first.
first they take 5 fire damage and die.
Nice.
They don't have
Yep.
fortitude?
Nope, they are. These are minion zombies. They are not as fortuitous.
Fortitudus.
Fortuitous? Including these?
Yes, all 8, as long as they can reach, all 8 of them basically will stumble in and die. At which point you'll see the skeletons march up to the edge, and
Like they kind of all just spread out.
yeah, they'll actually spend their turn like pushing dirt in, trying to like put out the fire, that sort of thing. So they'll spend their action trying to clear that out of the way.
Ghouls.
The ghouls are going to. Do they have a climb speed? That was the question. Nope, they do not. You know what? They're going to jump over it. That sounds like fun.
Alright.
And right into the web. Yeah, they will leap over. They're just kind of like slavering at the mouths as they leap over the skeletons. What is the saving throw that they have to make?
Dex of 15.
One of them succeeds. The other one of them critically succeeded. The other one critically failed. So one of them is trapped. The other one is
Trap is free.
free. So he is going to continue his movement. He's double moving straight towards you. The one on the right.
This one?
Yep.
Does he
It
miss
is
the
different.
trap?
Is it, I think it's difficult terrain, isn't it? Web? Am I wrong?
Yes, they are difficult
yeah,
terrain. and they
but
lightly
yes.
obscured.
So they took probably about 30 feet of movement to get there. So he can probably get to the other side of the trap.
He can get to there.
Yep. Yep. So he's going to get to right there.
And then he'll have to make another save at the beginning.
Yep,
of this turn.
because he starts his turn.
The lieutenant is going to move up behind the skeletons. We'll just call them the lieutenants, just because, yeah, and start like just trying to command them forward. So they're going to be able to clear that blockage by next turn. And then you guys see.
He's a lieutenant.
You guys see something else. The clumping of hooves, followed by little spouts of flame, as something emerges from the fog. The skeletons clear out of the way, and the lieutenant kind of bows his head to this figure as a rider appears, and he is he looks just kind of like your standard armor person, except for he is wearing no helmet. In fact, he is wearing no head at all.
It's the headless horseman.
And in his hand, we're going to go ahead and put him on the battlefield here. Well, pass it around first, carefully. He's not actually attached to the mount.
That's cool.
Yeah, come on.
He is riding on a nightmare. And in his hand, he is swinging a silver-coated axe.
Oh no!
Is it
And-
Marcus?
And Lydia's eyes go wide as she recognizes it. And she goes,
That's
"I can't
my
believe
father."
They did that to my grandfather.
Grandfather!
Oh. He's going down. I'm gonna cut his head off.
Careful with the top part.
I'm gonna punch his head off.
So the nightmare is going to double move, and it is going to go. We'll say it's going to go around the left side of Bolt here.
Gonna make it past the web and all that stuff.
Yeah, it can fly. So
Okay.
it
No
soars
big
over
deal.
everything.
Flying horse.
Yeah, just no
Where's
big
it
deal.
gonna land?
He is going to land just to the left of Bolt.
Right there.
So,
Yep.
Cord of Arrows
Take a reaction opportunity attack
Okay.
on it.
and Cord of Arrows as well.
Okay, corner of arrows.
How far do they have to be next to Cordon of Arrows?
It's like within 20 feet.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a crit.
Alrighty.
5 feet on each side, center point range.
Does Lydia say? So we hear her say that they did. I can't believe they did that to my grandfather.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I guess the question is, can I make the attack against the rider, or does it have to be against the
You
horse?
can make your attack against either.
Okay.
It's a mounted
right.
combatant.
I
so
think I'll take the attack against the rider. And I'm gonna pour some shiz on this.
Okay.
So,
Shiz on this in the name of crit.
all right.
30 feet.
Okay. So I am going to use an Eldritch Smite here.
Okay.
So
Smite,
that's
Smite.
okay. 4d8. I'm gonna use my epic die.
26.
So that's another 6. Oh, plus I get my special little my weapon does a cool additional little burst of fire when I get a 20.
Yeah.
I think it was an extra 5. Okay, sorry.
3 damage for the first Cord of Arrows shot.
3 damage. Okay.
Okay. So it's 32, 38.
little tiny bolt.
Plus 16 is 54. Plus 10 is 64. Plus 5 is 69. Plus my rolls.
Nice.
So that's going to be 14, 24, 25, and 8. So 33 plus 69.
32.
Sorry. 32 plus 69, 101 damage.
101 damage. Okay. And can you tell me how much of that is fire damage by chance?
5.
5? Okay.
Actually, sorry, plus 6, so 11.
11.
So 90 slashing plus Eldritch Smite does
Okay.
force damage, I think.
Eldritch damage.
I think it's force.
I think it's force, but anyway. Come on.
Horse damage. This is a horse.
3rd level spell gone.
Okay.
101.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, you definitely slice into it. You can see, like, you kind of rip through one of the sides, and it doesn't seem to be slowing down.
Okay.
And it is going to make an attack, one against Bolt, which is a 23 to hit.
Yep.
Okay. You're going to take 6 slashing damage and 20 necrotic damage.
I will intercept.
Okay.
Am I close enough to it?
Yep.
Yeah, you're right next to me.
So you can reduce it by, I think it's 1d10.
Plus proficiency bonus.
Plus your aura. So is that necrotic damage is magic, right? Or, well, I guess
it's
it's not
only
spell
for
damage.
spell.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not spell damage. Yeah.
So 4 plus. Beep.
4.
Beep, beep, beep.
So 8. 4.
8.
8. So reduce that by 8. And then the second attack is against
So hold
Seredan.
on. Okay, how much was it total?
It was
20 plus
20
6, 26.
26
minus
minus
8,
yeah.
so 18.
Yep.
13 damage.
And this is an attack without disadvantage.
Okay.
Because he does have True Sight. And that's a 24 to hit.
Hits.
Okay, so that's going to be 7 slashing damage and 18 necrotic damage.
So 25.
Ouch.
Okay. And then it is. That is that's turn. The nightmare just ran
I'm big enough. I'm
forward.
big enough to wrestle a horse. Sweet.
Yini. It is Yini's turn.
Alright. Ginny. Does she have any potions on her other than.
No.
No. Okay.
Nope. They used all of those trying to
Alright.
escape.
So she's gonna roll a. Try return. She rolls d8. It is currently acid damage for
Okay.
her prismatic.
Yeah, so the prismatic shard is an interesting item. It basically changes damage types every turn and causes extra effects. So right now it's kind of leaving a trail of acid in its wake, sort of thing.
So she's gonna go ahead and use her flyby slash.
So she was prone.
So that's half the movement. So how much is that? 5, 10. Is it 15? She's got 30 feet of fly, so that's as far as she can get.
Okay.
She'll do a prismatic slash, which is a thrown weapon. It's going to be a +7 to hit, so that's going to be a 9, 16
16 on what exactly?
on the, let's say the nightmare.
The nightmare. That will hit.
It's going to be 1d10 plus 4, 5, so that's going to be 9 of acid damage.
9 acid.
It will also take 1d8 of the chosen type at the beginning of its turn as the damage lingers.
Okay.
So I'll put 1d8
Yeah.
just to remind myself. And I think that's. She only has one action. Yeah. What? So after that healing, I know her total hit points is 35. What's her hit points at right now? After being healed
She
by
got
the key
healed
point.
8, right?
8.
Yeah. So she's at
9.
Oh,
It's
it's
9.
9.
That's
right.
Okay.
6
9.
plus 3.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. So that's it.
Then at the end of Yini's turn. Yes.
She wants to use her bonus action to dash and move away. She was 5 feet away. It does have
Wrong
reach.
character, it's me.
Oh, roll it. So.
Okay. Yep.
5. I'll say she kind of pulls back a little bit.
Okay. Sounds good. So at the end of your turn, the headless horseman is going to take. We'll call him what he is. He's a Doulahan. The Doulahan is going to take a legendary action.
Patches.
Doula?
Patches and
He helps deliver
Doulahan.
babies.
Yep, he is. And he is going to move. He doesn't actually need to move at all. He's right where he wants to be because
Life used to drink his
he wants to hit the person that fireballed his army here. So this is another attack with advantage. That is bad. I'm assuming that a 15 does not hit.
Correct.
Okay. Yep. So he swings down to try and slash you again. He seems to be going for headshots, as it were. He seems to be going for the neck a lot, and he managed to kind of duck out of the way from that powerful swing. And that used up all of his legendary actions for the turn. Next up is
Don't let us peek. Don't peek us behind the curtain.
Next up is the other group. They are going to move forward. They're going to plant a banner or a obelisk.
A blooder.
A blooder.
We got a bleaker.
Basically, they spend their turn coming up as well. Like there's not any.
There's the
can't
big
really
guy
get into
that
range.
planted it right.
Yep, and then we're going to go ahead and just roll again attacks against all of you. The skeletons. It'll be you guys have +5.
Except for me, because I'm big.
Yes, except for Bolt. So Eve, that's a 17.
Yes.
That's a natural 1 to Seredan. That is a 15 to Victor.
Miss.
That is a 9 to Ezra.
Miss.
Well, I guess you wouldn't really have 3/4 cover.
Nope.
And then a
Miss.
22 to Bolt.
A miss, actually, because I have +1 for having 2 people
Nice.
with me.
And is Yinny and
It was just the 5.
Just the 5?
Yep,
Okay.
because it's just 5 archers. So. Okay.
Those are the best skeletons.
And Victor,
Okay.
it is your turn.
I am going to use my bonus action to cast Shield of Faith on myself.
Okay.
So my AC is +2. And then for my action, I'm going to move. So I'm gonna be able to hit by another barrel. 20. And from where I'm at in the building, would I be able to see past the barricade, like the people on the other side at all?
Probably not. Still,
Probably not?
still
Okay.
3/4 are total.
All right, that's fine. So I'll just use my action, then I'll just drink a potion for this.
Beyond the barricade is
I'll.
too long to see.
Yes.
I'll put this here so that
You guys remember?
All right, so yeah, that's it. I'm just gonna drink the potion, the superior healing potion.
Okay.
That'll be my turn.
Lydia,
Okay, she's gonna run forward and attack her grandfather.
her grandfather. Okay.
You are a bastardization.
Abomination.
So she gets 2 attacks. Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So that's a 5
25 will hit.
for 8 slashing damage.
8.
Silvered hand axe.
Okay.
And then that one will be a 11 to hit.
11 will miss.
Okay. And then she will use her bonus action to give allies 6 creatures an epic dice. So she'll give us all epic dice.
And
And one for herself.
Okay. And then there's one for Lydia as well. Okay. Yep. So she comes slashing in. She actually slashes it right across Marcus's chest, and you can see like the silver kind of burn as it. This is a weapon made to fight these type of creatures. Almost okay.
Just don't want to hit the
And then she just lets out kind of like a battle roar and inspires everybody. So,
Nice.
Nice.
that's what the banner's for.
yep, that's what the banner is for. Next up.
She's color Bruce.
Question. So she did the acid damage. He took his turn after, right? Is the nightmares in the same turn as his?
The nightmare is on the same turn as his, so it won't take the acid damage until next turn. Because that was a legendary action that it used. It went before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Eve, hi.
Okay, Eve will cast Bless. I bless you. I bless you, children. So Ezra, Victor. That's second level, so that should be 4 creatures. People.
At second level, yeah.
Okay. Ezra, Victor, Bolt, and Seredan.
Doulahan? Doulahan? You want to bless the Doulahan?
Margaret O'Doulahan?
I'm
It's
going to
patent
say
to you.
no.
Okay. All right.
I
That's fair.
appreciate the suggestion. But, and then if she can, she'll just move up a little bit to act as perhaps a bit of a buffer.
On which side would you like to be on?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Do I get the bonus for Lydia?
Yeah, she counts as an ally.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else for Eve?
Nope.
There is one guard left. And he is going to run over and grab that crossbow from the downed guard. And he is going to take a pot shot at the Doulahan.
With the hand and land the killing blow.
And that one kills
Kill
you.
stealer!
He does not hit, unfortunately.
Figures.
The Doulahan.
A Julian. And then it is Ezra's turn. Back to the top of the round.
All right. I
Long record.
am going to shoot the catapult.
Nice.
Okay.
Or the... Sorry.
I'm going to destroy the catapult.
Okay. Yeah, you get advantage on it just automatically because it is a stationary object.
So that is 15 to hit.
15 will hit.
Okay, sweet. And I'm going to do one of my explodey arrows. Explodey.
Okay.
Extra 2d6.
To it and everything.
10 feet.
Yep.
That hits all of them, yeah.
Okay, so that's going to be 21 27 to the catapult,
Okay.
and 5 to all the others.
Okay. The catapult rattles and then explodes.
Nice.
And all the skeletons around it, except for the one, the leader, also get shattered by its explosion as well, and your blast of force.
Very nice.
That's cool.
Sweet.
None of them look like
metal.
rattles, right?
Ooh, it's heavy.
Then I will take my second shot at whoever's left over there. We'll
Okay.
just shoot at them.
Yeah.
Just like, I like the idea of you like pull a bow back and then
22?
go.
22 will hit. Yeah, just
Well,
like
just
a little bit farther.
Oh, that's actually kind of heavy.
Yeah, it's
Cool.
It's a zinc, I think.
For 24 damage.
24 damage.
There's an epic dice spent. Epic dice spent.
Okay.
All right, that's it.
Okay. Yeah, Ezra manages to take out their siege weaponry, and then we get into that group over there. The amalgam is going to spend its turn attacking the barricade itself, which it will, I am sure, hit.
You at the barricade, listen to this. No one is coming to help you to fight. You're on your own.
Okay, yeah, he actually breaks a hole through the barricade, big enough for a medium creature to step through, which is going to be his lieutenant. So his lieutenant can
1,
move
2, 3, 4, 5, 6
40
is
feet.
30. Okay, he can get right up to Yinny.
Okay, so he's going to come in. He is going to make 3 attacks.
Oh, she has 9 hit points.
Well, it was nice
Well,
to know you.
Thanks for being a buffer.
For
The first one is a natural 1.
Yay.
The second is a 20 to hit.
It's
Okay, and that is going to be 24 slashing damage plus some necrotic.
unconscious.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me the totals. We'll see if it's
21 plus 6, 27 total damage.
27. She has 35 total hit points.
So
she's not massive
not
damage.
just dead.
And then he is he can't really do anything else, so he's just going to eye the rest of the party angrily,
You can hit her
getting
again.
ready to move in.
Does he even have eyes? Or is he
No.
skeleton?
He has eyes, like he has. No, he has eye sockets.
Which was the lieutenant that I hit with my
That
Eldritch
is the
Blast.
lieutenant that you
Okay.
hit. Yeah, he is wearing the helmet and everything. So, and then it is the rest
Pull
of
the
them are
ghost of Tsushima
dead.
and just
Bolt.
I'm gonna punch the Doulahan.
Okay.
Nice.
We'll try to.
Hit him. That disadvantage is huge.
Wait.
27.
27 will hit.
Nice.
And then I'm gonna activate my fire giant.
Okay.
Ooh, shackle him.
Yeah. So that is a d8 plus a d6 for Giant's Might, plus 2d6 for the shackle.
Okay.
A 1, 2, 2, 3. So 16 damage. 4 of it is fire.
Okay.
The rest is just thunder damage. And it must succeed a strength saving throw DC 16 or be restrained for 1 minute.
Okay. You knock him off his horse, and he clatters to the ground, and you just see this burst of black smoke as he just dissolves.
Ooh. That was it, huh?
Roll me a perception check. Well, you know when you crit him for 100 damage right at the beginning.
Perception check. Okay. And then bless works for perception checks.
Ability saving throws and attacks, not ability checks.
Natural 20, but perception plus 0, so 20.
So you're not watching this kind of just like the smoke fade and dissolve. It is pulling itself back and away from the hamlet towards Bleakwood Forest.
Oh. And then
Find a
second attack,
sarcophagus.
I guess I'll just punch the nightmare.
Punch the nightmare.
Yeah. That is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20 will hit.
14 damage. Thunder damage.
14 thunder. Okay.
That's it.
Okay, perfect. Seredan.
Okay. Sarah is going to look this way and use some sorcery points to use Quicken Spell and cast another fireball. It is the music of a people who will.
And what is the
This
total
one
damage?
is not with my potion of maximum power, so I actually have to roll it here. Let me just do it automatically for ease. Again, a DC 16 dexterity, and it doesn't want to roll. Come on. Okay, I guess I'll roll the dice. Oh, here it comes. Whoa, that is like chugging. Oh, that's a lot of ones.
One.
Gosh, that was terrible. 15 damage. 2, 1, 1, 4, 1, 2.
Ouch.
Well, I mean, you know,
the skeletons and zombies are gone. They were just
at least
minions,
we did that. Yeah, 15. Wow, that was like the worst fireball of all time. And then she's going to
By the ghouls.
run up.
The ghouls are going to have to roll for this one.
She's gonna then move up to the lieutenant and whisper, "Here to finish what I started."
You can try.
And make some attacks. I'm assuming he cannot see me, or at least that I have advantage.
You have advantage. Well, no, actually, sorry. They have true sight as well.
They have true sight.
Yes.
Okay. In that case,
That did not happen on purpose, but it happened.
Okay. It's only a 16 to hit the first attack.
16 will...
Actually,
What about the totem or the obelisk?
the obelisk is gone.
Is it gone too?
okay, cool.
Well, it was only 7.
15.
15? No, it's still there.
Okay.
The obelisk is still there. The...
The amalgam's still
sorry,
there.
you said it was a 16 to hit?
Uh-huh.
That won't hit.
Okay.
The
Second,
amalgam is still there. The ghouls are still there. The horse is gone.
Priestess.
Priestess is there.
Horse is
second
gone.
attack. I'm gonna
Rider
blow
is
my
gone.
inspiration. 4. Wow,
Horse.
baby dice. Okay. That's a 19 to hit. Does
19 will hit.
Okay. And that's gonna be just this plus this. 16 damage.
16? Now, you didn't start your turn within 10 feet of him. Is that correct?
No, I did not.
Just
20
wanted
feet
to
away.
make sure.
I moved up 2 within 10 feet, and then I'm actually going to step back 1.
Okay.
And that's my turn. Gotta mark off another spell slot.
You said you moved to within 10 feet of him.
I moved up to 10 feet, made my attack, and then stepped back.
And step back. He's going to take an attack of opportunity against you.
Okay, he has reach.
He does have reach.
He's got a big, long
Yeah.
halberd thingy as well.
That's a 24 to hit.
Okay, that hits.
Okay. So that is going to be 17 slashing damage and 14 necrotic damage.
Okay.
Sheesh.
Ouch.
And then it's Holly's turn.
Okay, she is actually going to... Oh man, I don't want to really get in range of that guy. Actually... Alright, let's try this. She's gonna step up and say, "Stay away from my friends." And she's gonna make an attack.
Okay.
Alright.
I like you getting into the Holly roll there.
Yes.
That's okay.
So, I wasn't adding bless on my... I mean, I don't know if I can retcon it or what his AC is. I was a 16 on my first hit. I don't know if
at
a
this
D4
time,
would have been...
we wouldn't. It's
Okay.
too far past.
I'll just remember next time. Anyway, so she's gonna.
I mean, Eve spent a whole turn on it.
I know.
The least you could do.
She's gonna make an attack with her quarterstaff,
Okay.
and that is a. Come on. 21 to hit.
21 will hit.
Okay, so it's gonna be a D8 plus 4, so that's 11 damage.
Okay.
And then she's... Okay, wait a minute, hold on. Sorry, it's been a second since I've played a monk. Let me just see what I need to do here. Yeah, she's going to spend a key point to try to stunning strike him.
Okay.
So it's a DC 14 con save. Let's hope for low rolls.
He rolled a 13. He is stunned. Okay.
Okay, she's going to make a second attack. She does have extra attack.
Colby never has as much fun as when he plays a monk.
That's true. Okay, so now with advantage, right?
Mhm.
Because
Yep.
he's stunned. Oh man, she got a crappy roll that time though. That was only a 14 to hit.
14 will not hit.
And then she does get to make one unarmed strike as a bonus action.
Correct. Or 2 if she wants to spend another key.
Right, but I'm gonna do something else. So this unarmed strike is a 25 to hit,
That'll hit.
and that's just gonna be a D6 plus 4, so 7 damage.
Okay.
And then she can, as a mercy monk, if she hits with an unarmed strike, she can spend a key point to do Hand of Healing. As she.
And yeah.
No, it's as a bonus action, I think.
Yeah.
Just double check that.
So
I
what
don't
it
think- I
does
think
what it does
she's
is
done.
you can do the flurry of blows, but you can replace one of the attacks.
Right, that's right. So if I spend,
Yeah.
you're right. So if
Mhm.
I spend a key point, having done Flurry of Blows, so instead of making yet another unarmed strike, I
Yes.
would heal
Correct.
my Yinny, who just keeps going down. Get up, Yinny! No, this time it was only a 4. It's 4 hit points she heals. You've got to take better care of yourself.
Okay. And then that's the end of her turn.
Yeah, I don't want to... Oh, wait, he already
Yes.
took his reaction, so she is going to move away.
Okay.
She only moved 5 feet. Oh, 10 feet,
Well, she's
sorry.
stunned,
So,
so.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he is stunned. So
3, she'll just move back to kind of where she was.
perfect. All right.
It's more easy.
And the next person to go is the skeleton back here at the catapult. He is going to actually just...
Oh, this guy.
Yes. He is going to kind of see everything going on, and he's going to wave his hands around and turn invisible.
Oh.
So he disappears.
He is 300 feet away.
Yep. He disappears, and then he does something else.
But we don't know.
You don't know.
Invisible.
Okay. Then the next up is the main group. They have cleared the
Fire pit.
fire. The ghouls have to each roll a saving throw to start their turn.
I think it's a dex. No, it's strength.
Strength-
Now.
strength
if they
of-
start in the area.
If they
if they're restrained, it's a strength throw.
That's right. You're right. To
Yeah.
break it, but it's still a dex save.
They are both trapped now.
still
Sweet.
difficult terrain as well, right?
Yes. The skeletons are going to march in there like fools, trying to get through. 1, 2, 3. One gets trapped. One goes through.
So they go
Which one? So like this guy? So he went 5.
What was the
10,
DC on it total?
15.
15? Only one of them manages to make it through to the other side.
Well, it's difficult terrain.
Yes.
So are they
double
dashing
moving?
then?
Yep.
Do they get over here?
Yeah, he'll just make it.
Okay, what about these two?
Those two get trapped. Everybody else gets
All the
trapped
rest.
in the webbing. Yeah. Whether it's 5 feet in or 10 feet in, that's fine. And then that lieutenant is also going to see the futility of it after trying to call his troops back, and he's going to move 60 feet 80 feet the other way.
This way?
Yep. He is going to retreat. Okay, and then
You better run. I laugh as I'm punching a horse in the face.
it is the Nightmare's turn. The Nightmare is going to fly to the right.
Is that skeleton within 30 feet of Cornameras?
Yes.
I'll take another one of those. It's just 1 damage.
Yeah, that's enough. These are minion bones.
Onions.
So the Nightmare is going to move 90 feet towards the lieutenant and the priestess.
4 acid damage.
Opportunity attack.
Okay.
Opportunity attack.
All right.
Lydia gets opportunity
And
attack too.
Cornaveros,
Yes.
Please.
3.
Yep.
Okay.
Opportunity attacks.
4 acid, 3 piercing.
Not good.
Sorry, baby dice.
What was the total?
It's been failing me.
I did get a crit on my baby dice.
15's enough.
That's
Oh,
nice.
that big 101 damage crit was on my baby dice.
25.
A 25 will hit.
19.
19 will hit.
11.
11 damage.
And it's got disadvantage on
17 damage.
5 damage.
5 damage.
just for Lydia. Right?
Yep.
It is still alive.
No.
Just barely. So it's going to move over to the other two. And when it gets
Over here?
within 5 feet of both the lieutenant and the priestess,
Okay.
it is going to, it's going to almost, it looks like a fiery portal gets ripped open, and it is going to pull the 3 of them into it and disappear.
Testing the defenses.
Here we go. Okay. All right. Then it is Yinny's turn.
She's alive, but barely. But barely.
What's a butt barely?
A bear's
When
butt.
you can barely see the butt.
It's the crack.
crack.
Yeah.
Dallin likes
Dallin's
those.
the coin slot. Part.
You can
Yep.
barely see it.
Preston.
Dallin likes the butt barely.
It's Yinny's turn.
Yinny?
Yeah.
Yinny will go ahead and she's gonna
It's not
come
as
over
funny
here
as
and do a
you
flyby
You think it
slash
is. It's just,
Just
late.
slap happy.
on the 2 of them,
That's
basically.
hilarious.
on the 2 of them.
Yeah, because she could probably
that's
make it
the butt
3 feet
barely.
to the amalgam.
Each creature of her choice moves within
Barely
5 feet
likes
of
the
her
butt.
movement. Yeah, so I'll just kind of fly.
Well,
So it's like 5.
Is she
10.
can she go through that? Because there's only an opening.
30.
Oh,
She
she's
can fly.
flying. Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
she can fly.
So she just
She stands on 2 daggers and they.
No, so she's standing on that prismatic
Oh,
shard.
that's right. Her
Go ahead and roll the
surfboard.
damage type for that as well. This turn.
Surfboard.
Yeah. Damage type is gonna be
Ow,
8,
damn it.
5. This
It
is
can't go on
like
water though.
Not unless you have power.
lightning damage.
Okay. So make the attack on the big guy first with advantage.
Okay.
Or not the big guy,
And this
the
is
stud
gonna
one.
The prismatic slash, correct? As it
Yes.
goes through.
They hit with basically the
And so
prismatic
then you roll twice the attack,
slash.
or is it just automatic hit?
So you roll the attack for each creature that you pass within 5 feet of.
Okay. So the first is an 11 plus 7 to 18,
18 will hit.
and the second one is 10.
10
On the bone thing.
on the bone thing will miss. And then you get 1 extra attack at the end of your slash too. So you can make another attack against the bone guy.
Natural 1. So.
Okay. What is the damage on the first attack though?
So the first attack is going to be a 1d10. And 2 for the first. That is lightning plus 4, so that's 6 total.
Okay, well that's enough to take that lieutenant out.
Okay.
So she goes streaking by, kind of arcs of lightning come off.
Oh,
and,
Yinny! Whoa! Hey!
Yeah, streaking. Uh-huh. And yeah, she takes out that lieutenant,
And
whose last sight is just locked on Seredan, even though they're like stunned and trying to break free from what Holly did.
You do the anime like.
I can't remember. Is that third one did or
The third one missed. So
It was a crit fail.
yeah, it was crit fail. Okay,
That's it.
that is it for Yinny.
Actually, no. She'll take her bonus action and dash.
Dash. Okay.
So she'll kind of.
Yep. And she doesn't provoke opportunity attacks with that. The priest is dead. The zombies are dead. Everything is dead, guys. You guys.
They were
All
dead.
of
They
it's
were
already
already
dead.
dead.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Victor, it is your turn.
They're re-dead.
Except for the Doulahan, maybe. We don't know.
Well, and those ones that the nightmare yoinked away.
Sure.
I guess Victor will get on.
And the guy that turned
The
invisible,
lieutenant
and the one
that
that
just
ran
ran
off.
off. Yeah, they still have some forces.
Victor will click his heels together.
Boots of Schwerin.
There's no place I come. There's no place I come.
I guess I'm just going to drop the Shield of Faith for the concentration. I'm actually going to do Zephyr Strike,
Okay.
which increases movement, doesn't provoke opportunity attacks, and advantage on a weapon attack. That's one weapon attack roll.
Okay. Is that a bonus action?
That one is a bonus action. Yep.
And then where are you heading?
I'm going to see how much would it be to for movement? Would I have to use my broom to fly over to hit something here, or would I be able to kind of climb up on the thing and throw?
Just
something
give me
at
an
it?
acrobatics check. Let's see.
So that's 6 plus acrobatics, which is a lot. That is a dirty 20.
You'll be able to do it just fine. You'll be
Okay.
able to climb over
Okay, so I'll
without
throw.
any issues.
I'm gonna throw Cinder Hearth at the big guy.
Okay.
That's a plus 10, so that's 14 plus 4 from Bless. 15. And I guess I will throw an epic dice just for good measure. It's going to be 19 to hit.
19 will hit.
Okay, that's going to be with the Cinder Hearth damage, so that's 1d4 plus 9. I have advantage. I'm going to use my Piercer feat to reroll that first d4 because it was a 1. Still a 1. So that's a 10 plus my sneak attack, which is 5d6.
Sneaky.
Did you have advantage on that attack?
Because of the Zephyr Strike.
Zephyr Strike, that's right.
Yep. So that's 23 additional, so that's 33 total plus the 1d8 from the Zephyr Strike, which is a 7.
So 40.
40.
Did you include Cinder Heart's
No, I
damage in
didn't. 40 plus Cinder Hearths, which is a d10. That's an additional 2, so 42 damage total.
That is exactly how much you needed.
Nice.
Yep. So you just come over, and as you
One of
come
my
over
favorite
the
models.
barricade, you just throw Cinder Hearth, and it just burns right through the amalgam.
Your still comes back.
So right now I'm actually on the.
The Hamlet is breaking
Everyone's
apart.
dying.
Siege weapon's back. It's just
Nice.
Preston's fist.
Yeah, so I'm on the hay bale
love
area
the
right now.
tombstones and It's like Skeletor.
I'll use the rest of my movement just to get back down.
But
Just
Skeletor
backwards,
had a
sounds
baby
good.
with like
That's it.
And then it is Lydia.
Okay.
Think about how it was conceived.
Well, I think she'll
Roughly.
just use her bonus action and give everybody a epic die and call it good.
And I guess that was also honed edge, so that would be an additional 4 damage.
Give 2 to Dallin so that he can determine who gets the second one. Okay. Yeah, so you dealt a little over damage there. So everybody gets 1 epic die.
Yeah.
nice.
Yep.
There's the epic die I used.
That's used by Preston.
And then those last 2 ghouls are going to rush up 30 feet.
Get to the barricade. This guy can get. He'll have to climb the barricade or knock it down.
Yeah, they're going to climb up the barricade where Victor is, and they're going to make attacks against him.
It's Victor. Are you up on the barricade over here?
I'm down.
You said you were on the hay bales.
So I was on the hay bale.
Oh, did you climb back
I
down?
just used the rest of my
Okay,
movement
they're just going to
drop
double
down.
move and climb over him. Just land on the other side.
Okay.
And then It is
This is very like
Eve.
Star Trek original series. Like,
Yeah, it does sound a little like that.
Go Ito!
Let's see. How far away?
There's a couple ghouls in front of you within 30 feet, it looks like.
I'll just move to them.
Okay.
You want to go between both like this?
Sure. That is 16 to hit.
16 will hit.
Which one? This guy.
One on the left. Or one, right?
The right guy.
Right.
Hit the right one.
Right.
That is 11.
Okay, that's enough to take it out.
Okay. Second attack on the other
Okay.
fellow, which is an 18 to hit.
18 will hit.
That is 14.
14 is enough to take that one out as well.
Nice.
Yep. So Eve just comes through, Tempered Mercy in her hand, and she just kind of swipes left to right, and there's just a burst of radiant energy that just dissolves both of these ghouls.
Does Tempered Mercy do extra damage to undead?
No, it just does.
Just an extra
just
one.
extra radiant. Yep.
Yep. I have no idea.
Those were the last two that
I
came
trust
over, right?
everything.
There's just the
Your,
pillar
your
over there.
smites will
Correct.
Okay.
do an extra one greater damage to undead.
And then it is Ezra's turn. Back up to the top
Alright.
of the round here.
I'm gonna shoot this guy.
Okay.
Use an explodey arrow.
Oh, there you go.
Explode.
Explode.
That is a 17 to hit.
17 will hit.
Okay. That's gonna be 25 regular damage.
Yeah, that's
That
thing's dead. And the others too, I'm
plus
guessing.
9. Everyone else in 10 feet will take 9 damage.
Okay.
And
Yep. All this.
is it fire damage?
It's force damage.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So the
I thought
skeletons
it was
are
fire.
gone. The skeletons
It's
are
not like a
gone.
true explosion.
I
of
only
fire, it's
asked
just like
because
a-
web's flammable.
Yep.
And it would have lit
Kind
on
of lit
fire
on,
and,
yeah.
and maybe finish those ghouls off.
And the ghouls are still standing.
Let me just double check, but
But you do have a second attack.
Yeah.
nope, it's force. Yeah, it's force. Okay. I will shoot the closest up ghoul.
Okay.
And he's restrained, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So
So
advantage.
Advantage.
So that's gonna be a 18 to hit.
18 will hit.
Okay. Pour some of that in there. So that's
Feels
gonna
good to use
be
web again.
32.
It's a great spell.
32 damage.
Yeah, you obliterate him. You just right through the head. And one falls.
Toast.
Where is he? There he is.
Anything else that you'd like to do?
Nope.
Okay.
That's it.
Uh,
Actually, you know what? I'll just whatever
Action
action
surge.
surge and shoot that one.
Okay.
As well. And there, that one's stuck too.
yes.
So that's that's not very good. That's 14 to hit.
14 will still hit.
Nice.
Okay.
For 20-something damage.
For 23 damage.
Yep, that's enough to destroy him. Squish.
Yay!
You got one more attack.
One more shot. Is anyone around? Okay. Shoot at that guy.
Ghoul in this totem thing.
Pillar.
Yeah, the blood
shoot
thing.
at that guy. So that's a 19 to hit
19 will hit.
for 27 damage.
27. Yeah, you definitely like smash through half of the bones there, but it's still standing.
Would a epic die help out?
Took a
Could.
fireball.
3 more damage.
That's enough. Okay. So that last one kind of just kind of clatters to the ground dead. There's a little bit of an eerie calm that comes over the village.
We need to
The hamlet.
polish off that blood.
Did
Yeah,
you?
we'll all just
So-
go ham on
Go
it.
there.
The one guy that ran away. I guess if we're out of the combat stuff, I would take. We're trying to long strider and boots of speed.
Okay. You rush
catch
out of
him
town, but you are not able to catch him. You can tell he was moving in the direction of Bleakwood Forest. And when you talk to Bolt, you can confirm that is the same direction that the Doulahan's essence was moving in.
Yep. And are the tracks more obvious? If they're not, I want to try and mark the trail so that we know.
Yeah, you can do a quick mark on the.
Is that for the invisible guy?
That was for the lieutenant. Although you do see more sets of footprints and hoof prints headed that way. Lydia kind of comes up to you guys and she says, "That was impressive. I did not think we would actually survive that. Thank you, all of you.
Well, of course.
But I don't think it's quite over."
It looked like some of them escaped.
Yeah, the Dullahan kind of flowed away into the forest.
And he left his axe, or did he take it?
He took it with him.
And some of the other monsters over there I saw, the nightmare. That
I have a feeling they're heading to that tree and regrouping.
maybe we ought to
Take the
them
fight to them.
before, or should we rest and recover before we head out?
We should go after them as soon as possible while they're still weakened.
Victor would probably still be out there for probably 30 minutes or so before coming back to report what he found.
And hopefully maybe the Dullahan is the boss, but they did say something about a master. So if there's something else, we can possibly find it.
I would like to at least be able to take a short rest if possible.
An hour probably wouldn't be too
Yeah.
unfeasible as far as waiting goes.
Chasing after them.
yeah.
I just need to.
They're not going to be able to do as much regrouping
Yeah.
in an hour as they would in, say, a day.
Yeah.
So everybody can go ahead and take a short rest.
Okay.
And we are going to call the episode there with the party. Minus Holly, Yinny, and Lydia, they are going to stay behind and help the village kind of pick up the pieces, clear out the bodies, that sort of thing. Yinny and Holly they're grateful for your help and they're eager to prove themselves, but they're not so eager that they're wanting to jump into it.
Do we get a bonus from Tempered Mercy for short rest stuff?
Did you want to heal with Tempered Mercy, or did you want to wait a little bit?
How I could also use Lay on Hands. Tempered Mercy, I can just only use once.
And I mean, if we're taking like an hour for short rest, Victor would probably just be out there
Would like
trying to
some
find
pills.
and pinpoint where they're at. Then.
I'm okay. I have hit
I'm
dice
okay.
that
I
I
won't
should be
take
okay. I took a ton of
You
damage.
won't take the short
but-
rest, you'll
but
be on the hunt.
I'll basically track them, hunt them. It's like see if I can catch him unawares.
at all.
Yeah, you'll be able to pick up the trail then. We'll go ahead and just give that to you since you're foregoing
Okay.
your short rest for that.
You're good?
Yeah, I gotta spend most of my
Ricky?
hit dice, but that's okay.
I'm
You
full
need
health.
pills?
I'm full health. I took that superior during
I'm
the
good.
fight.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you everybody for joining us tonight. This was a long one, and if you can't tell, it's late. But thank you for sticking with us. Thank you to Syrinscape again for providing wonderful sound effects. Go check them out in the description below. Go check out our Discord and all of the cool letters that we have on there now to Fifi. And I'm just going to call her that, I guess.
Colby.
And yeah, Discord, like, comment, subscribe, merch store.
Yeah.
It's got stuff.
Buy a hat.
Yeah.
Or a cup.
Thanks for 3,000 subscribers.
Yep.
What's our next goal? 5,000?
Sure.
5,000.
35,000.
Every 1,000 subscribers between now and next week, I will add another Dullahan to the fight that Scott will have to
Oh, please.
mate. But until next time, everyone, have a wonderful evening.
Bye-bye.